Event planning. 9 key ideas to make your event a successful one. There are many factors that make an event successful, however. There are just 9 listed here that will make your event a definite success. You will have to pay attention to all details of the event and make sure that you stay on top of things for the event to really take off. First, you need to make sure that you plan everything. You should plan for the best, worst, and expected scenes. When you do this, you end up having all your bases covered. You have backup plans to help you with your problems, and you also don't have time to panic because you've planned that well. You need to make sure that you look at everything. What's the worst that can happen? Always plan for the worst, because you never know. While you are planning, make sure that you stay organized. The worst thing that you can do is throw all your beautiful plans in one big pile and expect to find things at last minute or lose vital information. To stay organized, you need to keep all your contracts and important information in a binder. When you keep things in the bind, you know exactly where everything is and what you need to do at all times. However, bind the papers. When you bind the papers, you are more likely to not lose all the information in some accident. Also, make sure you have it on you at all times so that you can immediately put things in the binder. To start the party off on the right foot, you need to make sure that you pick the right venue, theme, and everything else. When it comes to the right venue, you need to make sure that all your guests can come to the place without ease and that it is appropriate for the event. You don't want to have a ball at a hunting lodge, or maybe you do. It just depends on what you want the night to say. Right from the start, you can have a perfect event by selecting the perfect place to hold the event. Once you have picked out your location, you can then begin to plan the event. The first thing that you need to plan when it comes to the event is the theme. Make sure that your theme is exactly what you are going for. You need to use your theme to help coordinate all the other details of the event, and the theme will help you in making some very important decisions. In fact, the theme is everything. It is the first thing that you should define. Once you have the theme, you can then think about the party or event. There are 2 important factors of every event. They just so happen to be the food and drinks. You will want to make sure that you form a contract with some of the best caterers in the area to ensure that your party or event ends splendidly. Also, you should know that this is so important that it can literally make or break your event. With bad food comes bad ratings and your sure thing for failure. Once you have booked the caterers and sampled everything, you will feel more confident. Also, think about the drinks. You may not want to offer a cash bar or open bar. They both can be expensive in their own ways, however. If you limit your bar, you can make it seem like an open bar, but you can limit your budget. Once you have the food and drinks planned, you can move on to entertainment. You will want something that will keep your guests entertained and be educational and fun. You can have a band or singer to help entertain. If you are a charity, you should make sure that you inform your audience about the cause and the importance of their help. Most of all, donations. To help you with everything, you need to have good vendors. Vendors are what make the party. You should always be kind to your suppliers, because you never know when you will need them the most. Don't be surprised if mistreated vendors breach contract and not even show up. You'll look ridiculous not having a dinner minutes before the dinner. Finally, you should think about how you can do all of this and still keep your cool. You may want to hire an assistant or have someone help you with all the due-to lists. However, you may find that you don't trust anyone to be responsibly enough, but you should at least give people a try. What you need to know to make your event educational, entertaining, and memorable. When it comes to an event, you need to make sure that you make it educational, entertaining, and memorable. This is extremely important when you have to place a charity event in the making. So what makes an event all these things? Well, you should look at each of them separately. What can you do to make an event educational? What can you do to make it entertaining? What will make this a memorable event that no one will be able to forget? First, look at the educational aspect. What is the charity or event for? You need to state your purpose or goal everywhere. You can do this in several ways. One way that you can be educational is by placing stands or showpieces around the event like an art show. Place random facts on the walls or on display so that you can get your guests thinking. You can put on a movie or documentary about the charity and show the people firsthand what is really going on and why they should help. You could also do a speech with the help of visual aids to help support your charity. All of these are great ideas when it comes to making something educational. But what about entertaining? Well, if you want just entertainment, you can have a band or singer perform at the event. However, that can be expensive. If you are having a charity, you should make sure that you mix entertainment with educational. Basically, you should try to find ways like through plays and other art forms to entertain and to educate. You never know how creative you can get until you try to mix education and entertainment. When you try to mix them, you will find that your creativity will pour out ideas and you'll have success in doing so. You need to make sure that the entertainment is clean and fun, especially for charity events. While you are thinking about how to make things entertaining and educational, you may just want to add some remarkable details in the mix. When you add some things like fireworks or celebrities in the mix, your guests are going to remember the event for most of their lives. You don't have to invite any celebrities to make a memorable event. You can do things by picking a unique venue, or by having some of the most special and unique details in the event. There are hundreds of things you can do to make a party remarkable. You should do some activities to get the creativity flowing so that you are able to make an impression on all your guests. You will want to make sure that you add something special into the mix so that everyone will be more willing to donate large sums of money, or at least some money. When you have tried to include information, entertainment, and shocking or fun events, you are more than likely to reach your goal and surpass any expectations that you may have. You will find that you will be happy with the results from the event. The only hard part about it is finding the creative ideas. If you take some time in your planning, you should have no trouble coming up with ideas and having a wonderful event. You will want to make sure that you have done everything to make things go as smoothly as possible. That includes staying organized so that you are able to find all the information upon needing, and also you can stay on top of things. You will have a great event when you take the time to really care about the event and see things through. 8 ways to incorporate entertainment elements into your events without spending a bomb. When it comes to entertainment, you should try to provide it without having to spend a lot of money. You can find many ways to incorporate entertainment into the event without spending a bomb by following some of the following tips. These tips should be helpful to either help generate your own money-saving ideas, or they might be the solution that you seek. The first option that you have is to ask some of the local celebrities to help host or show up at the event. When you do this, you can ask them to donate their time or even a few minutes to the event. It will help the charity sell tickets, and you can find some good entertainment without having to pay a thing. If that doesn't help, you may want to still take advantage of your local community. When it comes to the bank or singer, you should look in your local community. You will be surprised at what kind of entertainment that you can find, and you will also thank yourself for finding a band or singer with a low rate. Most of the time, the local bands will work events in order to get their name out there and for exposure. You may need to give them a free dinner, but it beats having to spend thousands of dollars on entertainment. You will find plenty of ways to cut the entertainment costs but nothing like hiring some locals. If you really do want to get a celebrity, you can go about it in 2 ways. First, you can always have a celebrity come to the event purely to donate a few minutes. This will be a free service for them, but also a tax deduction. Just because they aren't donating their money, they are donating something of significance. You should also think about raising money to hire someone. If you get a committee together and have everyone donate some money in order to have entertainment, you will be able to get practically any star to show up. If celebrities aren't your thing, then you can always just the money you put together to hire some local unknowns or to help out with the event planning in general. When it comes to hiring a band or a DJ, you need to think about a few things. Not only do you have to pay one guy, but all the band mates. When you hire a DJ, you only have to pay for 1 or 2 people to set time aside for you. You should also know that DJs usually come with their own permits. If you have a band, you may need to find someone to get you a permit for the performance. Usually, a DJ only takes a little bit of your space up too. A band can take a whole room up depending on its size. However, if you have your heart set on a performer, you should think about paying for them to play for an hour or 2. This way you don't have to pay for the night, but just for a few hours. This will cut your entertainment costs in half. This is a good thing to keep in mind when your budget seems to be getting smaller and smaller. When you rent a band for an hour or 2, you can keep things going great and not have to worry about the costs. If you really want to make things memorable, you might want to think about things like hiring a comedian or some other person to perform an act other than music. This way you can put some humor into the event, and everyone will laugh the night away. It will also make things seem more comfortable when it comes to serious matters. A joke can go a long ways, but it may not with every budget. You may just want to sit down and think about what your resources are, and if you have any connections. You may find that someone knows someone who can do you a favor. You never know what you will find when you pull the committee together. What to look out for when planning your next off-site event. Planning an event can be hard for anyone. You will find that the task is just too big for just one person. This is why most people will have a team or assistants to help them with all the little details. There are a lot of things that you need to look out for when planning your event. But if you take the time to dedicate to planning the party or event, you should be fine. The first thing that you need to avoid when planning an event is not to get overwhelmed. You don't want to get overwhelmed because it will only make things worse. Not only will you have a bad party, but you will also be fluttered and frustrated into doing things that you shouldn't. You need to gain control over the event instead of letting the event gain control over you. You need to make sure that everything is okay, one piece at a time. For instance, one day you should take care of the decorations, and the next day deal with the vendors. This way you aren't taking on too much at once. You may also hire an assistant to help you, or you may find that things can get too much. If you are having a very important event, you should always have a team to help you, so that you can find ways to quickly solve those last-minute blunders. You should also take a lot of time to pick the menu. The menu is one of the biggest reasons why people love or hate an event. Make sure that you have just exactly what you need to make the guests happy. You may want to try new things so that the party is a little bit spicy, and you don't want to be compared to some other party or event. You can make your mark with the food. If the food is good, the party will go off without a hitch. However, just because you pick out great food doesn't mean that things will work out. You also need to make sure that you use vendors that are responsible and have a reputation of being the best. This is so you know that they will deliver the food and without any problems. If the food is bad or missing, your guests will spread all those nasty rumors about your party. You need to also think about your contracts. You should have a contract written up with all your vendors. You will be much happier knowing that you have a formal business contract. The contract is your safety net. You can take the vendor to court if there is a breach of contract. However, you should know the contract works both ways. You can find yourself in some trouble if you back out on a contract. Contracts are very important when it comes to any event or business transaction. They work for you when the vendor falls through. Not only should you always have a contract, but you should also always make sure that you don't go bankrupt over an event. You need to watch out for that budget. If you tend to splurge, you should lower your budget. This way, when you go over, you have hit the real budget. This is just one of the ways that you can psych yourself out and stick with the budget. Also, you should know that you need to make sure that you count every expense. When the party is said and done, you don't want to deal with any unexpected or forgotten bills. The nuts and bolts of events logistics. When it comes to event planning, there are some things that you will need to think about and take careful planning. You will need to make a lot of important decisions that will determine the outcome of your event. You should make sure that you pay attention to all your event details and make sure that you get exactly what you expected. First, you need to understand the importance of a contract. Contracts are used in most, if not all, business transactions. If you hire a band, cater, venue, and other important critical factors, you need to get everything in writing. If you don't get everything in writing, you will find out that you might be a big loser in the end. You need to get a contract when you agree to deal with any suppliers or venues. You need to protect yourself in case they don't live up to your expectations. The only thing is that everything needs to be written in the contract. With the contracts, you should have a good, solid backup plan. When it comes to planning an event successfully, you will need to remain organized. If you are able to organize all your information into a binder, you will always know where everything is. You can pull out anything that you need when you need it and not go searching through anything. It will make the plans go smoothly, and you will be able to stay on top of things. Also, being organized has a lot of other benefits that will make the event look even better and very professional. It will also help you with your planning. Remember, you need to have a backup plan for everything. With an organized binder, you can be one step ahead of things. You should also think about your suppliers and venues. You will want to keep professional relationships with them so that you are able to maintain the good relationships for other events, and they will become loyal and go out of their way to help you with your events. When you play nice with the suppliers, you will find it to be a huge payoff in the end and in the future. You will have good relations that will maintain stability in your plans. When you do something to upset a vendor, you can basically expect them to not hold up their end of the deal. Contracts are nice legally, but at the time of the event, you have to rely on vendor relationships. Contracts work afterwards in court. You should also know that all your event details will play an active role. They will determine what kind of party that you have and how fun it will be for your guests. You should know that the venue is one of the most important things next to the food and drinks. The venue needs to be somewhere that everyone can get to easily. You need to at least get these people to come out. Then you can reel them in with the food, drinks, and entertainment. There are plenty of ways to reel your guests in, but the most successful one is by having a good and creative venue. Then, after you have decided on the venue, you can then plan the rest of the party. You should place a huge emphasis on the food and drinks for the sake of the guests. When you take your time to think about the decisions of the food and drinks, then you are more likely to please your guests, which is the main point of any event. Working with team-building elements in your off-site events. For any event, you will need to think about team-building elements so that you can have a strong front and make the plans turn into good actions. When you find out how to work within a team, you are able to not only function together, but solve things much quicker than by yourself. With a successful team, you are able to get things done fast, on time, and right. You have more resources as a team than trying to do everything yourself. You need to be able to have a team that can make neutral decisions by themselves. And as a group, you need to use team-building elements in your event planning, just so that you can get the event into motion and not have to worry about doing it all yourself. When you are first bringing a team together, you need to find out who is compatible and who isn't. You will find that some people will naturally butt heads, but you will also find that some people just make a great team. You should allow them to experiment to see who wants to be partnered with whom else. You can do this by letting nature take its course. You will find that they will naturally flock to one person more than others. This is a good sign to let you know who should be partnered. You need to do some team-building activities to make sure that everyone is able to come together and work together for a common goal. These activities can be anything that you wish. You will find that any task will prove who can work with whom. However, you should encourage others to work with everyone so that you have an all-about successful team. When you build teamwork, you need to watch out for some things. You shouldn't always let one couple work with each other. This will bring separation in the group, and the goal is to find unity. You should also watch for those who distract each other. You want to find partners that will focus on the main goal and then take steps to that goal. You will want to make sure that you keep the partners changing so that everyone gets a chance to work with everyone. This will help unity form, as well as a strong partnership bond. Once you have a strong partnership, you will find that the group will be able to be more independent, and they will find ways to quickly solve any issues that come up. You should know that it will make the work go faster and with better quality. When you have a group of people looking out for the common good, you will have an improvement in quality. When it comes to having a team, you need to have a leader to have some control over the situation. You will be the leader in whom all the groups will confide in when making major decisions and asking for opinions. You should try to keep things going in the group when they hit a stalemate. You need to only help your teams out when the productivity levels have gone drastically for the worst. You will keep the groups on track so that they can always be reaching for the common goal. When you use teams to help you with your event, you will find that everything goes smooth and that you fix issues quicker than ever. With the help from a team, you should be able to find a path, stay on the path, and have some fun while working towards a common goal. How to create effective team bonding at your events. When it comes to teamwork, you will need it for most of your events. You will need to think about the teamwork first. You will have plenty of little details that must be completed, but can you put the most effective team together? When it comes to choosing people to be on a team, you have to pick them for a reason other than personal. You need to know that they are able to make decisions and get things done. They have to be goal-oriented. However, you should also think about the way that they can come together and find easy and quick solutions to any of the problems that may pop up. First, when bringing a team together, you need to get them to bond. The way to get a team to bond is to give them a simple task and then watch how they work with each other. Some people will bump heads quickly, and then some will come together and really focus on the task at hand. You should make sure that you pair the team so that they will work to your advantage. You should make sure that each person has something to bring to the table. When it comes to activities that will build team spirit, you may want to think about letting the group divide itself. Partners tend to work better when they are placed with others whom they wish to be with. This, however, can also be the devil in disguise. Not only can this work to your advantage, but you may eventually have to separate them because they distract each other from the task at hand. However, to build team bonding, you need to make sure that you allow the teams to have most or complete control over things. You will find that if you add some competition in with the mix, which of the groups will perform better. You can do this by setting the group into 2 smaller groups with the same task, and then see which team can pull it through. Then you can get some feedback and see if you have someone ruining your perfect team equation. When you find out that there is someone ruining your team, you can either pull them from the project or give them smaller and insignificant tasks to seem like they are helping. If you need a team to improve on their team-building skills, you will need to set them aside and tell them how you feel. You can let out that you are disappointed. This way, you can motivate them to put things in gear. But you may need to talk to the group members about why they are falling behind and try to find a solution. Sometimes you will find that your teams will be ineffective because of one person, and that may be the time to let someone go. However, if it is crunch time, you need to get everyone working together successfully. For the process of planning the event, you need to delegate activities or roles within the groups, and then keep an open door. With the open door, you are able to find out what is the trouble, where the trouble is coming from, and how to take the right measures. When you are trying to keep a team going, you have to act as manager, and sometimes you need to be touch and sometimes sympathetic. As for the activities that you do to help build good teamwork, you can get creative with them, but make sure that your tests or tasks is a part of the bigger plan. This way, you can get things done, and the others can learn about the importance of teamwork. Managing an event for 10 people versus 100. When it comes to planning a small event and a big event, you will notice a huge change. You should be aware that it will make the entire planning process change. When you have a small event, you can plan with a breeze, but when it comes to planning for larger events, you should know that it comes at a very different price. The most important thing about planning a smaller event than a bigger event is that you don't have as much as a hassle with details. Small events are often casually planned because they are usually your friends and they sympathize with you. However, when you have guests that hardly know you, it's a big deal about everything. You should know that there are quite a list of things that you need to do to have a fabulous party event. However, when you are only caring for 10 people, you tend to overlook the smaller details. When it comes to managing a smaller event, you are able to make quick decisions. But when you have to throw a party for 100, your options are limited. That's the next point. With bigger parties, your options are limited. You can't just decide one day that you would like to have duck, and then the next have ham. If you are getting it catered, the supplier will tell you that your requests cannot be dealt with in such a small time. However, they can easier find the foods that you wish to have for a small group of 10. Also, with the food comes the drinks, and that can be quite an expense. You should know that an open bar can be expensive even for 10, but it can be even more costly when it comes to asking for a cash bar. So the solution to your problem for both cases is to limit your drinks. With a small party, you can have 2 or 3 different kinds, but with a larger party, you may have to offer more. Depending on your guests, the event, and the budget, the drinks could be less than expected for any type of party. Once you have gotten over the food and drinks, you then have to think about the seating. Not only do you have to plan to sit 10 people, but 10 times that. However, when it comes to seating, the larger events have the upper hand. You are able to place your guests with either people they like or don't know, but can easily avoid those who despise each other. This can be a blessing if the event happens to be something like your wedding. The budget is tightly affected by the size of the event. The smaller the event, the smaller the budget can be. But you can spend and pay close attention to details with a smaller event. You will find that a small event can be one hell of a party, but with the larger parties, you tend to skip out on great ideas simply because they didn't fit into the budget. When it comes to budget, the smaller parties are in the lead, but there are so many discounts that you can get in bulk that the two options are almost tied. There are so many more factors of planning an event that is affected by the size of the event. Usually smaller has a lot of benefits to the guests and the planner. But there are times that you just need to have a grand celebration, and you need to be prepared to sink in the time to plan the event as well. 10 ways to make your event interesting and exciting. There are plenty of ways that you can make an event interesting and exciting. You will need to let your creativity flow and not hinder you. The way that you do this is simply by brainstorming. Every time that you come up with an idea, you should write it down. At this point, you don't want to judge the idea. Some of the worst ideas can turn into being a blessing. Even if your ideas seem silly and outrageous, you should still write it down. At the brainstorming stage, you don't judge your ideas. This process will help you come up with hundreds of ideas and then later narrowed to a few good ideas. The first tip to coming up with making your even interesting and exciting has to deal with the point of the event. If you can, you should have famous entertainers to help out with the cause. This way you can bring people in with your celebrities, but then you are able to save some money on the interesting aspects of the event. You should always make sure that they are willing to donate their time so that you don't end up paying. Making this tip one of the most interesting concepts of the event. You should also think about what kind of person you would like to help with the event, rather it be a singer, actor, or dancer. You should also think about the food. When it comes to the food, you can do a lot for an event. You can make it exciting and interesting easily by adding some exotic foods. You may also want to blend your ability to offer some foods that are traditional for an event of this kind, and some food that is wild and new. When it comes to planning an event ahead of time, you will find that your ideas will be pouring in, however. It comes a time when you hit a wall. You don't know what to do or how to present an aspect of the event. This is when you have to do some things to generate the ideas. Another way you may be able to generate some interest is not just by having high celebrities, but some of the local celebrities as well. This way you can get the community to back your guest and to open them to the event with open arms. You will find that most of the local TV personalities are more than willing to offer some help in the name of charity. However, if you aren't a charity, you may want to think about other things that don't cost a lot of money and you don't have to fuss over. One of these things would be some interesting facts. If you do a lot of research, you are able to entertain your audience with facts. You can celebrate your numbers, and you will find it to be a rush. However, you should make sure that the facts are true. The last thing that you need is to read in the newspaper tomorrow about how you lied. You don't have to stretch the truth to have interesting facts. If education isn't the thing, then entertainment is. If you would like to have some examples of entertainment, you can go with dancers, singers, and actors. This way you can entertain your guests and be able to celebrate how well your wallet is doing. Basically, if you are able to find some local school to help you out with the entertainment, you can cut your costs in half. Do something outrageous as well. Hire someone to set off fireworks or have skydivers. This will make your party unique and special. To have an entertaining party, you may also want to think about the drinks. You may want to expand the bar or to decrease. Alcohol is a great way to start a party, but it's no way to celebrate for one. You may also want to go online and help with your entertainment. You never know who you might be able to book to make the party out of this site. If you have your people call their people, this will work out great. Another way to add some excitement is by adding some animals to the batch. The animals will make the party wild and crazy. Everyone will love this outrageous party. You may also want to add some excitement with the music. Make the music go with the theme of the party and go wild on the dance floor. Finally, you may want to have several things going on at once. This way, you can have everyone entertained to keep things interesting and entertaining. 8 tips to transform your event venue. When it comes to transforming an event venue, you can do a lot with nothing. You can change the whole mood of a place by following some of the easiest tips found here. You should be able to take a dark room and fill it with romance, or make a silly room serious. All you have to do is think about the mood that you want and where you stand in progress. Usefully, every venue needs some decorations to make things seem easier to fit into the event's ambience. First, you need to add a splash of color and boldness. You can add some boldness by getting some nice things like cloths and other decorations to bundle or design your room with. If you get a lot of long sheets of interesting fabric, you will be able to add both color and boldness to the venue. You can let them hang from the ceiling or have them gently flow through the room. Your creativity has no limits when it comes to adding colors and boldness. The only thing that you want to avoid is colors that will be too bright for the occasion. If you are going for romance, stick with red hues. If you are going for party, stick with some of the brighter and bold colors. The decorations are at your discretion, but first, you need to make sure that you don't have any limits because of venue rules. Simply ask before signing a contract with them. You should also think about small little things that will be great accents. You can go to make low-priced craft places and find a million things to use as accents. You may want to purchase a bag filled with seashells, or you may want to use simple things like petals and pearls. When it comes to romance, you can't get any more romantic than with rose petals and pearl beads. If you are on a budget, you can find plenty of things like fake crystals, pieces of glass, stones, and other things to place on the tables to accent the place. If using smaller objects to give the venue a hint of mood changing, you can change the complete look by assign height. When you go to add some height, you will want to use tall things to add some height to the room. You may want to use things like pillars or candle holders to get the dimension going. If you have a small place, the height will give you some added depth to the place. You should also know that if you use tall centerpieces, this will work too. The only thing is that you want to make sure that the items will not easily be knocked over. This can save a lot of your guests from being hurt. Also, if you use a matching decor, you can take out of the darkness and add a good bit of color. However, you don't want too much color, so if you match the tablecloths with the floor runner or to some of the other decorations, it will all seem to come together. If that doesn't do the trick, then flowers will. When you use flowers, you are able to change the room entirely. This tends to make everything seem brighter and glowing. If you want radiance, you should order some flowers to be set down here and there. You don't have to go overboard on the flowers, but if you watch your budget, you should be able to squeeze precious flowers in here and there. However, maybe it is not the decor of the room, but the size of the room that bothers you. If you change the tables in the venue, you will be able to make the room feel smaller or bigger. For rooms or venues that are smaller, you should add round tables in the place. The round tables will give the illusion that there is more room, and also your guests will be able to feel it. If you would like to make a larger room appear to be smaller, you can always add long tables into the mix. The last tip is the lighting. The lighting is everything in a mood. If you want people to be aware and place bids or donations, you will want the lighting to be fairly bright. This will get the attention of the guests, but it won't give them a headache. You should also dim the lights if you want a night of romance and passion to be present. 7 ways for an easy and hassle-free meeting planning. When it comes to meetings, you have to come fully prepared and ready to state your side, and then show all the documentation that you have used and collected. There are basically 7 ways for you to have an easy and hassle-free meeting plan. The first thing that you must do is think about everything that you will need. Make sure that if you need an overhead projector, that it is set up in the room before the meeting starts. You may want to come to the meeting an hour or two ahead and set the room. You need to make sure that all the equipment that you use is good and works. This is the time for you to set up the rest of the room. You may need to rearrange the furniture and other things to make sure that everyone can comfortably see the presentation. You may also want to take this time to set your table up. If you have folders or handouts that you would like to share with your associates, you may want to leave them at the end of the table or around the table. Before you go to set up the meeting room, you should have an agenda. If it is your meeting and you are in charge, make sure that you have an agenda so that everyone knows exactly what the meeting is about. You can send them in emails or by fax so that everyone knows exactly what to come prepared for. This will make your meeting go smoothly because all the facts and documents that the group will need will be present. Since everyone will be aware of what the discussion is about, they will come prepared with all their notes and facts. If you are conducting the meeting, you will need a speech. You don't have to write a complete speech, but take note cards to remind you of the key points. This way, you don't overlook a vital piece of your presentation. You can keep your note cards in your hands during the meeting, or you can leave them on the podium for reference. If you aren't sure how long the meeting is going to be, you may want to cancel all your other meetings and dates for the rest of the day. This way, you don't feel like you have to rush the presentation or meeting. Also, the other people whom you had set a schedule with will also appreciate the gesture. When you go to set up the meeting, you should go through a practice run. This way, you can calm your nerves and deliver a great speech. Also, you will know exactly what your speech will take time-wise, so you can have a guess to how long the meeting will be. Then you can call your secretary and cancel any meetings that you may need to finally. The last tip that you should follow when it comes to giving a hassle-free meeting is to talk to your secretary and ask them to hold any unimportant calls. However, you should talk to them what an emergency is. Unless it pertains to your family, then you should never accept any calls during the meeting. If you do decide to take a call, then you should leave the room and ask someone else to take over for a minute, or ask the group to think about your presentation so far, and you'll come back to clear any misunderstands once you've taken the call. All these tips should help you have a smooth meeting and come to the meeting well prepared. When you go to a meeting prepared, the meeting will go as good as possible for you and your team or company. 5 pitfalls to avoid when planning your next event. When it comes to planning an event, it can be rough. You not only have to worry about all the details that are major, but you have to deal with all the little things. You may find that there are some reoccurring problems that you have when you plan events. Each problem that you run into should teach you some kind of lesson for the next event. The first thing that you should avoid when it comes to planning your next event is getting overwhelmed with details. If the event is getting bigger and bigger and you've seemed to lost control over things, you need to get back up. It's hard to plan an event, especially if it is a very important event. You have to plan where you are going to have the event, the theme, the decorations, the food, the caterers, the supplies, and the budget. You need to make sure that you stay within a budget, but get everything done. This is when you need an assistant. If you don't have an assistant, you will have an emotional breakdown, and it could ruin the event. Depending on your personality, the breakdown can be crucial. This is why you need an assistant. Don't get overwhelmed with things. When it comes to using an assistant, you can leave them the minor things like fetching, fixing, decorating, and all the small details that you should never worry about. The second pitfall that you need to avoid is the bar and food. If you are going to have a catered dinner or event, you need to make sure that you have a written contract upon hiring. The contract needs to state the money, the food, and basically what you expect from the amount of money that you are paying. Even put the times when they need to show up in the contract, or you may end up with irresponsible caters. You need to make sure that the food looks and tastes good. You don't want to have people looking at you with disappointment. The third pitfall to avoid has to deal with contracts. Get a contract written for everything. It can be on a tablecloth if you must. Just make sure that you have it in writing what you are paying them, why you are paying them, what you expect from them, and the day and times that they need to show up with the goods. If you don't, you will end up having someone come to you saying that they overbooked or they have increased the costs. The fourth pitfall to avoid is bankruptcy. Make sure that you set a budget for your event. The way to successfully set budget is to set a least and the most amounts. For example, you can pay at least $5,000 for the party, but you can go to $7,000. Then you aim for the average, so you would like to have a $6,000 party. If you set your budget like that, you know exactly if you need to cut the corners or if you can expand somewhere on the party. You will also be more successful if you set yourself some limits. You'll be more likely to be under budget. The fifth and final pitfall to avoid is relaxing too far in advance. A lot of people will plan an event so far ahead that they think that they can take it easy the day before or even the day of the party or event. You need to realize that when you find extra time to relax, make some phone calls. Make sure that everyone is on the same page so that when the day comes, you don't run around like a chicken with its head cut off. You can take the day of the event with a relaxed pace because you were on top of things the day before. 8 tips on how to generate fun ideas when planning your event. When it comes to planning an event ahead of time, you will find that your ideas will be pouring in, however. It comes a time when you hit a wall. You don't know what to do or how to present an aspect of the event. This is when you have to do some things to generate the ideas. First tip on how to generate ideas is to do something outrageous. You'll get the blood pumping, and you will feel completely different. It will put you in a different state of mind. This doesn't mean that you have to go skydiving, but you may want to just take the day off and go to the spa. When you do something out of the ordinary, it is an extraordinary day and you feel so different. The second tip is to change your crowd of people. If you are so used to going to work and then home, and then work again, you need to break the habit. Call up some friends and go out and do something fun. Ask your friends for ideas. Remember, 2 heads are better than 1. You need to reach out for others' opinions. You know, bad ideas aren't always so bad. In fact, most terrible ideas turn out to be the best. Be open-minded when it comes to their suggestions. The third tip or suggestion would be to sit in a room and write down all the outrageous things that you can do with the event. The wackier the ideas, the better, because you are brainstorming, and the purpose is not to judge the ideas but come up with the most. When you are brainstorming, remember that quality is not as important as quantity. The fourth way to generate ideas that are fun is to become active. Go for a walk or clean a room in the house. When you get your blood flowing and the heart pumping, the brain begins to generate tons of ideas. When you do this, you are able to also look at things in a different light. The fifth tip to generate some ideas is to sleep on it. You may just be overwhelmed, and if you take a 15-20-minute nap, you will be refreshed and able to brainstorm like a maniac. You will feel the ideas bursting into mind. Before your nap, you may want to flick the TV on. Just watch some TV for an hour or so, and take things that you see on a movie or on a show and incorporate those ideas into your event. You can change things to make them your own, but make sure that you have fun with it. TV can be an inspiration to a lot of people, so you should try it out. If the TV doesn't give you anything, cruise the World Wide Web. Look online for things to incorporate into the party, or use some of the online tips to give you some inspiration. You will find a lot of things online that will help you with your creative flow. In fact, the internet can help you develop ideas into action. You just have to know how to search the net. If you are truly out of ideas, you can go to your partner or assistant and ask them for their opinion, or ask them to ask other people for their opinions on what to do with the party or event. This will allow you to have many people's opinions and ideas, and you can use them to generate good, solid, and fun ideas for the party. How to attract the right people to your event. There are many different types of events, and there are different people who you will like to attract to the party. However, you need to attract the right people to the event, or it just won't be the same. One of the best ways to attract the right people is make your party a private party. Private parties are invitation only. When you have a private party, you are able to limit the amount of people who will attend and also the type of people that will come. This is when you can send it to all the people that you truly would like at the party. However, just because you invite them doesn't mean that they will come. So how do you get the people who really want to come to the party? The way to get all those important people that you want to come to your party is offer them something they can't refuse. On the invitation, which should be professionally done, you will want to say something encouraging. Things like you are invited to the S party of the year, or a night of romance and dining. Most people will not turn down a dinner party because it is a way for them to associate and mingle with possible business associates. To weed out the unwanted, you should state on the invitation the dress code, like black tie event or semi-formal/formal. Usually, the more emphasis on formal, the more likely you are able to weed out all those who wouldn't fit in. Most people will not attend a party if they feel uncomfortable. If you would like to invite someone who wouldn't fit in, go ahead, because at least you can say that you offered, but most likely they won't come and ruin the party by their antics. Another way to get the people whom you really want to come is by giving them a VIP ticket to the party. This way they can come and associate with other people whom you think is very important to the party. But they don't have to deal with all the hassle of associating with those whom they would rather not. VIP also makes a person feel very special and honored. With the word VIP, they are more likely to come because it is an honor. It is one way to lure the best guests to come to a party or event. You need to hire a publicist to help you plan a huge event for you. Your publicist will do everything for the party. They will advertise how great the party is, and they will also show you ways to enhance your public look. They will make your look and act like a VIP without being a VIP. A publicist will help you look 10 times better. They know exactly what it takes to get the ideal guests to attend and what you need to do to persuade them to come. One of the best times to throw a party is when you are moving up the ladder. This way you can have people whom you have become friends with and also make some business contacts. Getting the important people to the party can be hard, but many of them are interested in the new person. They want to know the person who may, someday, replace them. That's one reason why you might get them to come. However, you need to consider that when it comes to the party. You need to think about why they are coming and then deliver all that they expect from the party, your family, and your home so that they keep you in mind. 9 reasons why you should be nice to your event suppliers. Your event suppliers are everything to a party. You need to have the best, never second best. However, you need to keep good relationships with event supplies, or they will never work for you ever. You can be ruined in a matter of minutes when you do something to hurt your relationship with a supplier. One of the most important reasons why you need to be nice when dealing with your supplies is because they make or break you. If you disrespect the supplier, they will not only work for you, but they will tell everyone about you. You will end up losing your business or reputation based on the fact that you weren't worth working for. Again, your suppliers can make and break you if you mess with the best. You then have to look at second-rate suppliers. Not only will your guests notice the change, but also they aren't as worth the money. You may find that they show up late or they don't deliver quality. And then your friends and associates are looking at you like, what happened? You will lose clientele, you will lose friends, and you will lose associates, because who wants to go to a party that is way below the normal standard? The next reason why you should be nice to your even suppliers is because your guests will come accustomed to a certain standard. If you lose your suppliers, your guests will notice. If you aren't finding better suppliers to replace the older ones, you may end up losing your good reputation and have a fall from grace. You will notice that people will begin talking about you, and you will feel ruined and be on the defense every time. Your supplies not only make the party, but they have a direct effect on your reputation and pull. The fourth reason to be nice to your suppliers is because they sometimes will offer you things that you wouldn't normally get from them. If you have a strong relationship with your suppliers, they will begin to give you better quality of things and offer you great discounts. You will be able to rely on them for anything. With that said, comes the fifth reason. The fifth reason is tied with the benefits of having a strong and solid relationship. Basically, you can begin to lean on them. You can begin to plan a party within a week or two, and they are willing to cancel any other contract to please you. If they overbook, they are more likely to choose you over the other. You begin to have a loyal relationship with them, and they are more willing to go out of their way for you. The next reason is based on their loyalty and trust for you. They may end up giving you or your clients extensions to pay the balance off. They will open a credit account with you so that you don't have to worry about quickly transferring the money. They will, in fact, give you a payment plan that they only offer to those who they have had long-term connections with. The seventh reason why you need to play nice with the supplies is the fact that they can back out at any time, and then you are stuck to find another supplier for the event or party. It can be such a hassle to replace last-minute quitters. It's also very expensive. The eighth reason to be nice is all the money that you can save. You will get discounts, extras, lower fees, and everything that concerns money once you have showed that you are worth the benefit. If they like you personally, you are more likely to save some money or get a kickback for the event. The last reason why you need to be nice is the fact that you need to show people that you are a responsibly and respectable client. If you treat each other good, you will find that you are more likely to benefit each other. They will have a bigger client list from your friends, and they will help you throw some of the best events that will shock and surprise your guests. How and where to find suppliers that will move mountains for you. It's hard to find a supplier that will move mountains for you, but you need to look at it in two different lights. If you are nice to your suppliers and you are able to build a trusting relationship, both of you can benefit. There is a reason for a supplier to go the extra mile for your event, and it comes in the form of good reputations and recommendations. However, you need to build a trusting relationship by using the one supplier each time. After use, they will know you better and care for you. Regulars always get the special treatment, but you have to build the trust to get that type of supplier. You should know that your supplier wants to build relationships with its clients. This is important because you are already halfway to building a trusting and strong tie. The other part depends on you. You have to explain what you want, but go about it in a good way. Don't call them upset because something didn't work out. That is when you talk in a low and calm voice and ask what can be done. To get a supplier that will move mountains for you, you have to realize the difference between being nice and kissing up. You don't need to kiss up, but you need to be respectful and show some courtesy. You can say things that are negative without saying it in a negative way, meaning you can state that you're upset, but not to the point where it offends someone. The trick to not offending anyone is to personalize compliments and then depersonalize negative compliments. This way, no one will offend by anything that you say. Now, there are a lot of suppliers who think the world of themselves and tend to be easily offended and disrespectful. These suppliers are harder to build a relationship with. They aren't willing to build a relationship or go the extra mile for anyone. This is when you look for another supplier who is willing to work with you. How do you do this? Well, begin to ask around. Ask your friends, co-workers, and family whom you should hire to do the work. This way, you can make a business relationship with a supplier who is friendly and willing to help you with your event or party. They may not want to move mountains for you, but they will want to work with you. Once you find a supplier who wants to work with you, you will want to state the type of business relationship that you are looking for. You should talk to the supplier and tell them that you are looking for someone who will be loyal and help them deliver a great party. You will want to tell them that they will get all your business if they do a good job with you. You may even want to sign a contract stating that you will only work with them until the other party has shown clear signs of disrespect and low quality. This is what will help form a lasting business relationship. Once you have a long-lasting business relationship, you will find that they are willing to do whatever it takes to make you happy. There is a lot of work to do with building business relationships with other businesses. You need to be willing to make a lasting impression and be respectful to the supply. They too need to be willing, loyal, and respectful for the relationship to work to your advantage. You need to make sure that you put a lot of time and effort into the relationship, or it will not work. 10 tips on how to be an excellent event planner. There are many tips that you can use to become an event planner and become one of the best. However, you need to know that to become an excellent event planner, you need to pay attention to the fine details and offer the best to your clients. This can take a lot of time from your day-to-day activities. To become an event planner, you need to put forth a lot of energy and time. 1. The first tip and the most important one is that you need to get in contact with some of the best supplies. You need to have a business contract and connection with many suppliers so that you can offer the best to your clients. Remember, when you have the best suppliers, your reputation will be excellent. 2. Also, always give your clients options. Have at least a dozen vendors that you work with on a regular basis so that your clients can choose from a few options. When you give your clients options, they will feel more involved in the planning process. 3. You need to think about what kind of events that you will plan. They can be small dinners to huge weddings, so you need to come up with creative ways to bring life to a party. There are going to be a lot of signature styles, but if you continuously research, then you can keep up on trends and event activities. 4. When you are doing a wedding that is multicultural, you need to learn about both of the cultures that they want present in the wedding. This will give you a better understanding of the traditions that they want to honor. 5. You also need to think about your location of business. Is your office somewhere respectable or in the ghetto? You need to make sure that your clients are going to feel comfortable in your office. This way, you can have more clientele. 6. As an event planner, you need to learn how to communicate effectively. You need to know what is acceptable and what is not by reviewing all your details with the clients. The party isn't about you, but the clients. You need to keep that in mind. Even if you think some time is wrongfully placed, listen to your clients' needs and wants. 7. Another way for you to enhance your reputation is to keep ties with the clients who were very pleased with your performance. Use them as references, but always ask before giving out any information. This way, you can give future clients an idea of your quality. 8. You may also want to ask your clients if you can take general pictures of the event so that future clients will be able to see what exactly you are capable of doing. Will make a lot of people hire you on the spot. 9. Talk to the client and set a budget before contacting any of your suppliers. This way you can communicate effectively with your suppliers and clients. You can offer the best possible solutions and ideas within a budget. If you can pull off an extraordinary event within a budget, then you will be recommended to everyone. There are only two things that matter, and that is the design and cost of an event. 10. Finally, you need to have a personality that allows you to interact with others and really hear what others want. You need to have the strength to handle everything with a collective attitude, as well as make the planning process fun for your clients. Your personality and the way you handle things makes a huge difference in being a successful event coordinator or an okay planner. 8 key success factors when marketing your event. When it comes to marketing your event, you have so much to think about. You have to think about who you want people to see the event and how the event is going to be marketed for the public. When it comes to marketing your event, it is usually for a social or benefit event. You will want as many people to attend as possible, and that is why you need to look at your marketing strategy with a positive and respectful attitude. The first factor of marketing an event successfully is to get the word out. You will want to think about hanging flyers, using mass media, or by the word of mouth. You can use all of the different ways, or just a few. Most of the time, you will use the word of mouth, along with some flyers, not many, and using the radio airwaves. You can get most of the publicity for free if it is a non-profit organization event. The second factor is the way that you market. You can market your event by using some emotional factors. You can have signs with children who have some type of disease if that's what the benefit's for. If you do that, you are using emotional triggers to make someone feel bad enough to at least donate, if not attend the diner. Depending on the type of event it is, you can use different emotions for different things. The third factor to keep in mind is getting the right people involved. If you can get a local celebrity to help back the benefit or show up at the event, then you are more than likely to get a good turnout. You can get a local athlete from a major league team, a politician, a local news anchor, or anyone who has a huge influence on the community. The fourth way to market your event is to use tactics to get a big crowd. If you can get a person with a lot of pull to come to an event, they will encourage others to come. This influence can be because they share the same political party, are friends, or business associates. The fifth way to market your event is to make it look like an exciting party. Have a TV commercial to explain what it is and why you are having the event. You may want to show previous years of the event and how well they turned out. You should also never forget the power of the newspaper. If you can get the newspaper to donate or write an article about the event, you have just gotten free publicity, which is the best publicity. You should also think about where the event is being held. You will want to make it located in a part of the city that is easy to get to and that many of people will want to travel to. You should make these types of events a local event and make the whole community a part of the event. When you make the community a part of the event by asking for their help or attendance, you are promoting your event and the reason for it. Lastly, you should always use respect in your ads. Never discriminate based on sex, race, or even education. If you want a good turnout, you should market it to the public and state the attire of the event, as well as other information so that the whole community and neighboring communities can join in the event activities. The way that you market your event will determine how many people show up for the event and how much you benefit from throwing the party. Marketing managers, 10 reasons why you should organize your own events. When it comes to marketing an event, it can be very different from organizing the whole event. The only thing that is, when you do everything yourself, you are able to have and see more benefits than if you didn't. One of the reasons why you should organize your own event is the control. You can have complete and total control over everything. You can make all the decisions and not have to wait for someone to get back to you on the answer, because you have direct communication with the vendors and event details. The second reason why you should organize your own event is the money that you will save. You can save so much money when it comes to planning your own event. You don't have to pay the planner a salary or other fees and expenses involved with an event planner. This will save you thousands of dollars to spend on the event or to save. You will also find that when you plan your own event, you can make changes anytime. When it comes to the planner, you have to call them, then they call the vendor, then they call you, and then you find out if the change is possible or not. When it comes to making changes, you can do them at any time, and you get to talk to your vendors directly to see if the change is possible. Basically, you see results faster. As for the fourth reason, you don't have that third-person opinion. Sometimes it can be a good thing that you don't have someone talking you out of some type of decision. When you lack the opinion of the planner, you are able to do whatever you want with the event. You have complete creative control over the event. Another good reason to plan your own is something that you know a little bit about. In fact, when you plan the event yourself, you are able to market the event through the media channels that you would like and through the means of what you prefer. Your ads are exactly what you want them to be like. You get to control the image of the event. As for the sixth reason, it is a little bit different. You should do everything yourself just for the simple knowledge that you really do know that it is being taken care of. This way, you know exactly what needs to be done and what has been handled. This is one of the most common reasons why people plan parties themselves. You should also think about the fine details. You can have complete control, and even over the fine details that no one really notices. You can choose everything, and you know exactly what needs to be fixed or changed, because you can see if things look good or bad during the planning process. Another good reason is the fact that, when it comes down to it, everything is exactly how you would have liked them to be. You fix the problems and issues like you would hope that they'd be fixed. Everything is done to your liking, and you know this. Nothing is a surprise to you. The ninth reason why you should plan your own event has to deal with the fact that you can control your spending. You know where you splurged and where you can cut back. Your budget is set, and everything is controlled to match the budget. You know right off what things are going to cost and what you need to do to get things to balance the budget. The last reason why you should plan your own event is the fact that you know your planning status at all times. You know when you should be able to relax and when you need to move the planning forward and quickly. 6 factors to look out for when planning the event itinerary. When it comes to planning an event, you need to do the even itinerary as well. You need to have everything timed to the T. You need to make sure that you stay on track and keep the event moving forward, or your guests will get bored and stop paying attention to all the events that are going around them. Here are a few things that you should think about when it comes to planning your event itinerary. First, you need to make sure that you place everything in an order that makes sense. You will want to have the presentation move forwards with transistors so that the event's plans make sense. You need to make sure that you take your time when it comes to the event itinerary. Everything needs to be related and mesh well together. If you truly want something that seems a little bit of an oddball, then make an announcement of why it was so important to you to include the bit. That way everyone understands the program and event. Secondly, you need to think about the time. You need to have enough time for the presenters to make a point but not where they steal the show. Usually, you can give a speaker 10-15 minutes. Don't overload the program either. People do want some downtime. If this event is going to be over dinner, let the people eat a little before you start. This way, they are ready for the rest of the events. Besides overloading, you need to look at the itinerary to see if you have enough things going on. You may need to add some speakers to the event to take up some time. You need to make sure that your program is not packed full or missing something. You don't want to give the audience a lot of downtime, but 2 or so minutes here and there is a great idea. Next, you need to be prepared when people go over their time. What will you do if someone takes 20 minutes instead of 15? Well, keep things flowing by shorting your parts and find other ways to take care of the time. 5 minutes may not be a lot, but what if everyone takes extra time? You will have to think about these things. You should also consider taking people out of the program or introduce them to the program. Do not place them in the itinerary, but give them a big and warm introduction and tell the audience that they are a guest speaker. This way you can use up the extra time, but if you don't have any extra time, then you don't have to use them. Finally, you should get someone to review the itinerary before printing. Make sure that everything is spelled correctly and verify names. You need to make it look very professional without any errors. Then you can have them printed off for all the guests. You should make sure that it goes to the printer on time as well, so that you don't panic in the end. The itinerary will substitute for the program, and it can be just a list of events. You don't have to get fancy with the itinerary. In fact, this is the cheap way to give out a program. You should stick with the itinerary during the event so that everyone knows that the program is going forward. Also, it can be a relief to see how much longer it is to some. Make sure that you have a perfect itinerary before sending them out to the speakers and guests, because you don't want anyone to become offended. What makes an event fabulous? There are many things that make a party fabulous. You should first seek the knowledge of a local event planner. This will help you with making all the good decision that you must make in order to have a fabulous party. However, you should know that there are some things that you can do to make any event fabulous. You should first start off with a menu. The menu or food that you plan on serving will say everything about a party. If you want to just have finger foods or appetizers, you will want to have a dozen or 2 different foods to nibble on. You should also be more creative with veggies and such rather than meat. In general, America is pulling away from meat, and you may want to serve things that have low calories and look good. You can serve grilled or stuffed veggies, but you may also want to do some sushi. Other than the food, most people come to a party for drinks. Drinks can be very expensive if you have an open bar, however. If you limit your party to having only a certain drink or a few drink options, then you can offer the open bar without the huge expensive. You may want to have some non-alcoholic beverages, as well, like adding fruit puree to sparkling water. If you want to have drinks in a creative way, you may want to freeze some of the berries and fruits that are in season, and then place them in the bottom of a drink. They will add some class to a drink, and they keep the drinks colder. This trick looks great in the bottom of a martini glass. The next trick actually has little to do with the party, but the invitations. To have a fabulous party, you have to have as many people there as possible. To do that, you need to make invitations that look professional. You can get many card programs for your computer at some of the local computer stores and superstores. Superstores are great. They have a huge selection of supplies, and you can also purchase them at bulk. Things like tablecloths and other things are perfect to purchase at superstores, because you are able to find huge savings on bulk material. If you ever get the chance, go to the local superstore or warehouse and see what they offer. With all the diets that everyone is on, the food could be low calorie, low carbs. You may also want to purchase meat that has fewer fats. If you are going to serve meat, you should go with chicken and fish. As for the decor, you may want to get a little creative by mixing and matching some of the table linens and other decorations. This way the party looks lively and not dull. Do anything you can to live the place up. You can decorate with lemons, oranges, other fruits, and more. You can use flowers to decorate as well. You may make an arrangement. However, it will be very expensive. This is when you may like to just scatter some petals around the place. It will look elegant and nice. Candles also can do a lot for an event. If you want to have a softer light, you can find plenty of creative ways to use candles and mirrors as centerpieces and more. You just don't want to place any candles where they can get knocked over or start a fire. Music is also a nice touch to a party. Depending on the type of party that you are having, you might want to watch the type of music that you play. The music has to mesh with the theme and vibe of the party. Jazz or instrumental can always work for practically any kind of party. 7 key reasons why events marketing should be part of your marketing strategy. When it comes to any corporate or company marketing strategy, you would include plenty of social events to the list. When you add the social events into your marketing strategy, you are able to make contacts with many other associates, and it will help your company or business flourish. One of the biggest reasons why you include events in your marketing strategy is the fact that you make so many contacts. When you make contacts, you are able to find new channels and ways to expand your business, as well as make your business grow by reaching new markets. You never know what you can gain from having new associates. Another reason to have events is to share the public that you give back to the community. This is a key point for businesses that are big in one area. They grow and find success in the community and should give back to the community. It gives the company more of a public edge. Also, you should think about your competition. When you throw parties and such, you will find the opportunity to mix and mingle with the competition. You can get a feeling for their next move through what the others have to say. You will find that everyone talks about everything at corporate events, and you find out a lot about what people think of you and the business. When you throw a party or social event, you can also introduce a new product. You may find that a social event is the perfect time to show off your new investment or allow your guests to try out a new product. It's kind of like a testing, but an unofficial one. You can get an idea of how it would sell on the market by giving it to your guests. Then you can release it or forget about it depending on your guests. Another reason why you should throw social events in your marketing is to keep your company name in the papers and on the minds of the community. When you do this type of marketing, it is called reminder advertising. You are keeping the company and the products of the company in the minds of those who are in your target market and community. You should also through social events so that the community and competition knows that your company is still in the good. If you can through huge social events for the company, then it means that you must be making a profit, right? Well, that's what people are going to think. You should keep this in mind when it comes to any social event. Also, companies should throw events for the company just because it is a way to give back to the employees. They work hard all year long, and a party every now and then will be a great benefit to being an employee. It will also make the company look better in the public eye. The community would be more supportive knowing that the company gives back to the community. There are hundreds of reasons why a company should invest in their employees. The more active that the company is in the community and society, the more they are going to get supported if they ever wanted to expand and other things. With social events, you not only gain the public's interest, but their support as well. That could be one of the most important reasons why you would want to throw an event. Social events have a lot of benefits for any corporate or company's marketing strategies. Planning an event can be time-consuming, but it is worth it. Learn what it takes to be a successful event planner. When it comes to being a successful event planner, you need to learn how to look at things strategically. You need to break things down in small goals so that you can reach them in a timely manner for an overall success. You will find that the success of your event will matter on many things. The most important thing that you need to learn is that nothing ever goes according to plan. And that is why you should always have some backup plans to make everything possible. When you are tackling an event, you need to think of it on a large scale and a small scale. What is it that you want others to think about the event? Do you want people to have fun and socialize? Or do you want others to look at your event and purchase or donate something? Your goal at hand will determine everything from the decorations to the overall theme of the party. Once you are able to decide what you want for the event, you are able to move on to the details. When you are planning the event, you have to think about details small and big. You may not think that anyone will notice something, but always think that someone will notice everything. That is why you have to think about the event on a large and small scale. This way you can take care of the details needed to throw a good party. However, when you run into accidents or mishaps, a successful event planner will stay calm and quickly think about what to do. The planner is the one who always ends up saving the day. You should have a backup plan for anything like decorations or items that you think might give you some trouble with. You do not want to scratch your idea at last minute, but sometimes that's the only backup plans. With a successful party, there is an atmosphere that makes the event enchanting. And then there are other things like the music, decorations, and food/drinks. Some of the most important aspects of the event will be entertainment and the food. You will want to make sure that the food is good. If the food is not good, then that is all that anyone will be talking about. It has become of the most important conversation topics of a party. As for the music, you will want something that will set the mood. If it doesn't set the appropriate tone for the event, then everyone will be asking what is wrong with the planner. And that is not the point of music. Music gets people in the appropriate mood for the event. Make sure that the music and the target mood agree with each other. As for the decorations, you don't want to make them look cheap. Cheap decorations will not make the event any money in sales or donations. You need to go out of your way to make it look good, or you will not make a profit at all from the event. In addition, you will want to make sure that you have a good atmosphere going so that people will be more inclined to open the checkbooks. You should think about things like the lighting and the sound system. You do not want anything too powerful. You want the lighting to be soft but comfortable, and the sound system at a level that the music and announcements can be heard, but not to the point where it is too loud. When you set the right atmosphere, you will be able to achieve any goal that you have for the event. Truth about creating successful events. When you want to create a successful event, you will need to follow through on a few different things. You will want to make sure that you are doing a great job so that you can be proud of your event. There are many things to do and usually little time to get them done in. You will want to make sure that you are patient and using your best judgment so that you can get started with your great planning. You will want to first make sure that you are setting down and figuring out a plan for the event. There is nothing better than being prepared for something. You want to make sure that you are planning for all the good things as well as all the bad things that can happen. The one thing that you need to do when you are planning a successful event is to make sure that you are realistic. You should be ready for anything and understand that you are going to have problems come up at any time. You will want to make sure that you are making and following a timeline for your special event planning. You want to have everything listed and be ready to take on the challenges of anything that you have to face. If you are thinking that you can take on the difficulty of doing every little task yourself, you should think again. You will want to understand that you are going to have to get some help. You can ask someone else to bear some of the load. There is just no reason why you would have to do everything yourself, unless you are truly the only person that is able to help out. You need to set an agenda, and then you should be able to hand out tasks to everyone that is helping out with the special event. You will want to give everyone an assignment so that no one is left out of the preparation. You want to make sure that you are setting guidelines for everyone to follow so that there are no questions asked later, and that all of the work is delegated out to everyone. Getting all of the work done is something that you can defiantly be proud of when it is accomplished. The truth about most successful events is that they almost never get finished completely. There is always something that will come up and make things a little harder to do. However, the main thing that you need to do is make sure that you are able to handle anything that is thrown your way so that you can relax and feel confident in your event planning. Once you have the place, the time, the date, and all the major details worked out about the event that you are planning, you can then move on to the smaller things that have to be done. You will want to be sure and make a list of all the last-minute items that need to be addressed, and then go from there. You will see that there are different things that you will miss, and that is okay. Usually no one will even notice, and who really cares if they do? As long as the day went well and everyone had fun, this is all that matters. Take your time and think about your event. After you have done it all, the most important thing is that you have fun yourself. After all, you are the one that has put forth all of the hard work and thought for the successful event. You deserve to have fun and enjoy the party just as much as everyone else. You will feel better once the big day has arrived and things are finally falling into place. When you need an event planner and when you don't. When you are doing any kind of special event, you will see that there are a lot of things that have to be done. There is a lot of work and planning that has to go into a lot of different events. You want to make sure that you are able to handle all of the hard work that is involved in it. If you are not sure that you can take on this type of challenge, you may want to go and hire an event planner to help ease the work. You can decide if you need an event planner to help you or not just by the size of event. If you are having a larger sized event and there is going to be a lot of different things involved in the work, you may need to go ahead and get the planner to help you. If you are going to have a smaller event, you might just be able to get all the work done by yourself. It is really going to be up to you and what you think you can handle. If you decide to get an event planner to help you, you may be wondering, where do you find one? You will be surprised at the amount of people there are that will help with this type of occasion. There are many different people that do this for a living. They will plan other people's special occasions and make money by doing so. This is something that will take a very organized person to do, and you want to make sure that you are getting just that. You may know someone that has used an event planner before, and they may be able to help you find the right person. You can take all the references and help that you get and use this to make a decision on the right person for the job. You will find that sometimes you can go by other people's past experiences and use them to make your own decision on the right event planner. Once you check out the references and make sure that they are the better person for the job, you will then want to book them. Make sure they are open for your date and those they can handle the work. You will want to be in contact with your event planner all the time. You will find that you will spend countless hours with them and many lunches trying to plan the perfect event. You will be involved with some of the process, like picking out certain things and making the final decisions about what is going to happen. You will be in control, with the only difference being that someone else will be doing all the legwork. An event planner is working for you, so you should not be afraid to let them know what you want. You will want to be very open with them and communicate the things that you need to have accomplished. This is the only way that you will be able to have a greatly planned party that will amaze everyone. You want to be proud of the event that you are planning and feel good about all that you have done. Remember that you will have to pay the event planner. They are usually not cheap, so you will want to find out the price first before you hire them. You want to ask questions and make sure they are the candidates for the job and that you can afford their services. Make sure that you have a written contract with the event planner as well. You want to have protection in case anything goes wrong so that you are not responsible for paying them when they have not completed their job as they have agreed. If you think that you cannot afford an event planner, you should go ahead and try to do the work yourself. You can ask your friends to help out with the preparations so that you are not bearing all the load on yourself. When you are confident in your event planner and know what to expect, you will have a great party that you and many others will remember for years to come. What to look out for when choosing your event planner. You may be trying to plan an event and finding out that it is a little bit harder than what you thought. When you are having a hard time planning an event and doing all the work at the same time, you may find that is a good idea to hire an event planner. They can be a great deal of help to you so that you are not getting frustrated and driving yourself crazy over planning your special event. You may be wondering, where do I find an event planner? It is really not that hard to do. There are more and more people getting into this profession and finding it very interesting. Many people are helping others out with their party planning and making a great profit from it at the same time. This is a growing profession that a lot of people are doing because they are interested in it, and they are there for you to count on. You may be able to find someone to help you with your event planning that has been used by a person that you know. You may be able to get good advice from your friends on hiring an event planner and what they can do for you. You will want to make sure that you are using someone that will be right for you and also someone that you can trust. You want to put your complete confidence in the person that is helping you build a successful event. If you have no trust, you will find it difficult to let them plan your event. You should choose some for your event planner that you feel comfortable with. Maybe you want to find someone that has the same type of personality as you. This would be a great idea, especially when it comes to having the same good ideas about what you want. This is a smart idea for anyone that is looking for the perfect party and getting help from an event planner. There is so much to do when you are in charge of an event. You need to find someone that is going to pay attention to all the detail. This is one of the most important things. You need to have an event planner that is going to strive for the best. You want them to put all that they can into planning this event. If you are expecting to have the best, you will want to have only the best helping you. You will be glad that you took the time to find an event planner that has a good work ethic and someone that wants to work for you. Do not be afraid to ask the event planner that you are thinking about hiring for references. You should want to see the different parties that they have created. You want to see their work and make sure that they are someone that is going to be able to fit your needs. You will get to see a sense of the type of party that they can plan for you. Check out the prices for event planners as well. You do not want to be shocked when it comes time to pay the bill. You want to have an event planner that is going to be a great help to you and give you the satisfaction of the perfect event as well as an affordable asset at the same time. You do not want to blow your entire party budget on an event planner. There are plenty of people out there that have reasonable prices that you will feel good about. What to look out for when choosing your event venue. You need to be careful when you are planning an event of any type. There are so much to do and so many different mistakes that you can make at the same time. You will find that it is easy to get lost and lose your sense of great ideas early in the event planning process. You want to try and make the most of the ideas that you have so that you can make this type of event the most successful and memorable for everyone. You must make sure that your event is taking on the personality that you want. You do not want to shock anyone with a totally different venue that they are not going to love. Your biggest feat is to make sure that everyone is going to have a great time so that this can be the best party of the year. Doing this does not have to be hard. In fact, you can have the most talked about party of the year if you really set your mind to it. You need to look out for certain things when it comes to choosing your event venue. You need to be sure that you are planning fun for everyone. You need to have the event jam packed with fun and excitement so that anyone that attends is going to have something great to do. They will be excited to be there, and afterwards, they will be glad that they came. Another thing to look out for when you are planning a great event is the food. You need to make sure that you are able to find a menu that everyone is going to love. You will want to meet the needs of all the different types of guests to ensure that they have the best dinner that they have ever had. If you are having children at your party, you will want to accommodate their needs as well. You will certainly want something great for them to munch on. You should also make sure that the area that you have the event is going to be best for the occasion. You need to find somewhere that will fit all of your guests comfortably so that no one is uncomfortable and feeling like they are cramped together. The most room that you have will mean that the more people you can invite. Remember that you want to make sure that you are using a place that will keep your guests in one area and allow them to mingle as they should be. You will see that your guests will have a better time if they are all meeting and chatting along in the same area. You do not want them to be scattered around or separated. Getting what you want from your event is not going to be easy. You will have to make sacrifices and use a lot of your resources. You may also have to hire someone to help you along and get you through this difficult time. When you are able to find some help with your event, you will feel a lot better, and you may also see that your event goes a lot smoother as well. This is something that you can be proud of and excited about at the same time. Planning a great event that has minimal flaws is not easy, but it's something that you will be proud of at the same time. Getting there to the perfect party is something that will be grueling, and of course, you are going to make mistakes. However, you will learn from it and do better the next time you are planning the perfect party. What to do when things don't go as planned during events. Planning a big event is something that you will find to be trying at times. You will have a lot of things to do, and you will find not enough time to do them in. You will feel rushed and maybe even a little bit anxious at the same time. You will not be able to make everything perfect, and this is something that you will just have to deal with. Anytime you are planning something, you will probably find that something goes wrong. You will not have an easy time with everything unless you are perfect, and in real life that does not happen. You will want to make sure that you are prepared to take on the things that are going to happen so that you are able to deal with them and move on to the next item. No matter how much planning you do for your special event, you will see that something will always be missed. This is usually the case even if you are double-checking and rechecking everything. You will want to make sure that you can handle mistakes and forgotten things that somehow go untaken care of when you are planning a special event. You can get your party to run a little better when you are using a good checklist. This will be a list that will include all the things that you have to do for your party. Once they are accomplished, you can check them off, and this will make your party planning a little easier and more organized as well. This is one thing that will be a great help to you and anyone that is helping you with the party as well. If you are fine that it is the day of the party and moments before the party is set to begin, you see that something was missed, you can try your best to fix the situation. You may have to use a little bit of your creative side to come up with a quick fix, but you may surprise yourself with a great idea. You can be surprised at the way that your mind will think when you are in a bind, and looking for an easy fix. If you are at the event and noticing that something is not going right, you will want to try and fix the problem as fast as you can without anyone knowing about it. You may not want to draw a lot of attention to the problem that you are trying to fix. However, you may want to find someone to help you with the situation and get a strong fix for it. This is something that you can do with the right amount of help. You can also have some of your friends going around the party and looking for things that are going wrong. You may find that this is a huge help with things because you cannot be everywhere at one time. The biggest thing that you need to do when you see that something is going off course at your event is to not get upset. You want to be able to stay calm and use your resources that you have to fix the problem. You should not panic and get all worked up because one thing is going wrong. You will find that once you get a hold of yourself and let your brain think, you will find a solution to anything that comes up. Who knows, you may not even have to worry about some of the small stuff that goes wrong. As long as you and everyone are having fun, you will have a very successful party. Learn what makes an event stand out and talked about by your peers. Having the best event that can be enjoyed by all is not always something easy to do. You have to do a lot of hard work and research to try and make your event one that will be talked about by all your peers. You want the party that you plan to have and all the things that you want, and so much more. This will be the equation that will end up getting you the most spectacular party that you can be proud of. When you are looking to have your event stand out from all the rest, you want to do a few things first. You want to think of ways that you can bring some fun and excitement to your special occasion. You want to add some flair to the party so that you can take your guests by surprise. You want them to be thrilled by coming to your party. By adding some of the flair that you want, you will be bringing life to it for everyone. The most that you can do for your event to be special is to plan. You will do more planning than you have ever done before because you want this time to be special. You want your event to be the most talked about time of the year. You want to put a lot of your heart and soul into this so that you are giving it your all and ending up with the best finished product that you can have. You will have something that you can be proud of and feel good about. Having everything planned out is the best way to run a well-organized party. You will have certain times for everything. You want to have a time schedule and make sure that everyone follows it. This will give you the best results because you will have a time for everything so that you are not missing anything or running behind schedule. You may want to add a few surprises into your party planning. Throw in some sort of fun and excitement that will grab your guests' attention. You will want to bring some excitement like a special guest. This would mean that maybe you bring someone that your friends and family have not seen in a long time. Maybe this person is a longtime friend that you have not seen in a long time. You may also want to hire an entertainer that will bring some life to the night. You should think about the type of party you are having so that you can bring in the best entertainment that will add the most profit to your night. The most important thing is to have your guests leave with the feeling of a great time. You want them to talk about the night for a long time. Of course, you want your guests to be talking good things about it and not saying how boring it was or that they had a bad time. Getting something that will be a surprise or fun to the guests will be the one thing that can grab their attention and get them motivated to have fun. Food is another great part of the party. You want to make sure that you are planning the best menu that you know your guests will absolutely love. You want to think about the people that are coming and what you think will be the best meal for them. You may want to add a few of the typical menu favorites to the menu. Think about comfort foods and party foods at the same time. Bringing these ideas together will get your partygoers gathered around the food table. The right drinks will also be a good party idea. You want to give your guests a great choice that will leave them feeling good and having a great time. This is the most important thing about your party, and that is to make sure all your guests have fun. You will feel like you had the perfect party with great success when you hear that you had the most talked about party of the year. When you need to hire an event planner, planning a party is not always easy for everyone. It can be something that is a lot of hard work and may even be a little tiring to some. When you are trying to plan the party that has everything that you are looking for and so much more, you may want to have a professional help you with all the things that you have to do. Having an event planner help you with our special occasion is something that you may not think you need, but you may be wrong. When you have a lot of things to do and not enough time to do them all in, you will want to make sure that you have the help that you need to get it all done in time. Getting an event planner can also help you find different ideas that you could not get on your own. You will appreciate the ideas that you can get from an event planner that has a lot of different experience with planning a great party. They will be able to bring some fun and flair to your night and make it the best that it can be. Hiring an event planner is nothing to be worried about. You will find that it can be something that will make your party a great success. Finding an event planner is not something that will be too hard either. There are many people that are looking to help you out with your next event. You will be able to check out the different options that you have and go from there. You will see that there are all different types of planners that come with different prices as well. It will depend on the type of party and amount of work that needs to be done. You will find that the larger parties are going to be difficult to take on by yourself. You will want to have someone that you can rely on and trust to make the difficult decisions about things that have to be done. You will the skill of an event planner to make this great time even better. Memories are the one thing that many people like to have of special occasions, and you will want all of your memories to be great. Weddings are an event that will probably call for an event planner to take charge. There are many preparations that need to be done, and you will find it a lot easier to get help for them. When you have someone to take on all the problems that happen and take the stress off you, you will be able to sit back and enjoy more of the process instead of worrying about it all the time. Surprise parties and larger-sized birthday parties may also call for an event planner to help. Getting someone to find the place, food, entertainment, and all the hard to deal with problems that can happen with a party is going to take a lot of pressure off of you. You will want to have a good time at the party too, and not be stressing over the things that need to be done. That is what you are going to pay the event planner to do. After the party is over with and you have had the best time ever, you will then have to decide if you want to fess up and let everyone know your secret about the event planner, or let them think that you did it all on your own. Either way, you will feel good about the choice you made and actually be excited about the next party you have to plan. 4 ways to ensure that your event will go as planned. When you are trying to plan a great event, you want to everything perfect so that it all goes as planned. This may not always be easy, and in fact, you will have to work hard at it to make sure that it does go the way that you are hoping. You should not get all worked up about your event. As long as you have the right materials and the work ethic to do it, you will have a great and successful time. There are 4 ways to ensure that your event will just as you have planned. You will first want to make a budget. Once you know how much you can afford to spend on this special occasion, you will then be able to plan out all that you have to spend on your purchases. This will give you some kind of start so that you can follow through on it. It is very important to stick to your budget so that you are not forced to go over and have to find ways to pay the extra cost. Once you have the budget in place, you will want to make a list. This is the second way to ensure that everything goes as planned. Once you have the list of all the materials and things that you need to plan out, you will then be on your way to making the most of your special occasion. You will want to figure out the different things that you will need and then go from there. This will be the best way to make sure that you are getting good deals on all the things that you are in need of. Make sure that you are checking things off of your list as they are done. You will want to do this so that you are not forgetting to take care of something, and this will help you leave nothing undone. You will find that planning out the event will go a lot easier and quicker when you have a great plan to move on with. This will be a very good way to stay organized and on track. The third way to ensure that your event goes as planned is to make sure that you have a lot of help. You do not want to take on all the challenges of running an event yourself. You want to have as much help as you can so that you are able to make the most of your special day. You want to have friends help you out as much as possible, as well as even hiring some extra hands to get everything done for you. They will also be able to keep an eye on things at the event. They can watch over and make sure that all is running smoothly, and if there is a problem, they can try and fix it before you even find out about it. This will be a great help and also take some of the stress off of you when the time comes. The fourth way to make sure that you are succeeding with your planned event is to have a lot of patience. You do not want to get yourself worked up too much. You want to make sure that you are calm and collected so that you can handle any problems that may come up at the event. You will feel better and be able to relax when you are in control of the situation. This is something that a lot of people do not do, and they will find that they have no fun at their own party. You did all this planning and hard work, and you should be able to enjoy it as much as you can. Calm down and have patience. Things are going to go wrong, and there is nothing that you can do about it. All you can do is work through it and hope for the best. 10 ideas on creating exciting event themes. If you are trying to plan an event that is different and entertaining, you may find that it is not always easy. You will sometimes run into a brick wall when it comes time for you to choose a special theme for your occasion. You will want your event to go as well as possible. You want to have the perfect theme that will grab everyone's attention and have him or her excited about coming to your party. The one thing that you will have to do when you are trying to figure out a theme for your event is think about what type it is. You should think about what the event is being held for and something that is associated with it. Once you find out what your event is for, you will then be able to quickly think about different things that you can do to make it great. You want to have a theme that will stand out and get them interested in your party. There are many different ideas that you can use for creating exciting event themes. You can do something fun for the kids. You will want to make a kids' event jammed-packed with fun and entertaining items. You want them to keep their attention on the event and busy while they are there. You can use some fun colors and keep the event decorated in an upbeat manner so that the kids have a great time. Another idea for kids is to have special characters there. You can hire certain cartoon characters and other fascinating entertainers to keep the crowd motivated and happy to be there. You can also incorporate a child's favorite type of project or hobby. You can use sports and many other fun-filled activities to keep them from being bored or getting out of control. Third, you can have a costume party. This is a great way to get people to have fun and get a little bit wild for a great time out. Your event will be fun and leaving your guests wanting more. For the fourth ideas, you can have some really great games to play. Anyone that goes to an event wants to do something fun and exciting. They do not want to be sitting in a corner all night talking to one person. Have some great games that will keep the guests happy and motivated to have even more fun later on. The fifth reason can be dancing. Usually everyone will love to hear music, and you can hire a DJ to play everyone's favorite music, and they can dance to great tunes that will keep them grooving all night long. This will surely add some fun to your event. You can have everyone dance and even come up with a contest to keep him or her moving along with the beat. For the sixth reason, you can use decorations to make the event great. You can find many different things that will bring life and entertainment to your event. For the seventh reason, you can make your own special designs and theme your party any way that you want. You can use different colors and objects to add some fun and flair to your event. For the eighth reason, you can use food to create a great theme for your event. You can use any type of food that you want and make your party special. You can have different foods from different ethnic backgrounds to help you with your party planning. You can use any or all different types of unique foods to make the occasion a little different. Surprise events are a great way to have a theme. This is the ninth creative way to make your event more exciting to everyone. You can make the party a surprise for someone and use this as your theme. This will be a lot of fun to keep it a secret and to have someone pleasantly surprised about your event. The 10th idea for your event is to have it as a charity event. This is something that you can bet will bring a lot of different people to your event. You can raise some money for a very special cause in your life, and one that you care a great bit for. You will be able to have everyone that attends your event pitch in and donate something towards the fund. 8 ways to get attendees to your events. When you plan an event, you want to make sure that everyone is going to attend it. You do not want to do all that work for nothing. It is important that you have your event planned out well, and this will include everything right down to the invitations. You want to have your guests learn about the event in plenty of time so that they can attend it. 1. The first way to get your attendees to your event is to make the invitations look great. You want your invitations to be exciting and bring some expectation to what they can have when they come to your event. You want them to get excited about coming. 2. Another way to get your guests to come is to advertise the event. You want to make sure that you are putting up the appropriate signs and getting the date and time out there for people to see. You want people to feel like they are welcome to come and enjoy the fun and excitement of your special event. And this is one way to do just that. 3. You may also want to send email invitations to people about your special event. This is a good way to make sure that people hear about your planned event and let them know fast. You can reach a lot of people by email and in a matter of a few minutes. This is a great way to make sure that everyone hears about your party, and you will get the word out there fast. 4. Talk up the event. This means that you want to tell people what a great time this event is going to be and what they can expect. You want people to wonder about the great party and want to come along for the fun. This is something that will entice their interest and get them wanting to come along. You will find that by talking up the great party, you will have more people show up. 5. Tell your friends to tell their friends about the great event. Make sure that you are telling everyone to share the word and to let others know what a great time this is going to be. Tell them to hit upon some of the wonderful things that they will be able to expect at the grand event. This will really get them wanting to show, and if they are not invited, they may ask to be. 6. Advertise your event. You can put ad in the newspaper and on the television if the funds are there for you to do so. You can do this, and you will be surprised at how many people you will be able to reach with your event. You will see that you are getting the news out there and getting the word across so that you can get more people aware of the fun that you are planning. 7. Put flyers in papers that are seen in your church, local organizations, and many other places. You will be able to make up an interesting flyer that will catch the eyes of many onlookers, and they will want to come to your event. 8. You may even want to have your special event written in the sky if you want. You can hire a sky writer to do the work for you. This is a great idea and one that will get your word across. You may also want to have your great even written on pieces of paper and floated away on with a balloon into the sky. This is a great idea, and one that is cheap and very cool at the same time. Learn how to create an event that will generate revenue for you. When you are thinking about getting a great event together and making it special, you will want to use a little bit of your creative mind to make it great. You will want to learn how to create an event that will generate revenue for you. You will be able to make a great profit with your event, and this will be a great success. If you are trying to plan something that will bring you a little bit of profit, you will have to spend a little bit too. You will want to make sure that you are able to find the funds to spend on your special event. This is something that will be a great idea for you and one that will defiantly work out in the end. You need to find the money to create your special event. You will want to hold fundraisers, if necessary, and other special events to make this great success happen for you. You will love the fact that you can get some of the money for your event and get all things that you want and need in to pull this thing off. You will want to be sure that you are using the right materials to make the event great. You should have the right decorations that are going to really make your event stand out. You will also want to have the right location to start. You will find that there are many different areas that you can hold your event. The first thing that you need to do is make sure that you reserve the spot that will accommodate all of the guests and have enough room to keep them all comfortable. After you have the location that is best for you, you will have to pick the food and the entertainment. You need to have a good menu that will get people's attention. Everyone wants to have a good meal when they go out, especially if this is a meal that they are going to end up paying for. They will want to have something that is delicious and something that will give them a great impression. Depending on the reason for your event, you may have to decide what type of donation you are looking for. You will want to use the donations for the cause that you are looking for. You will have to make sure that you are doing your best to raise the most money that you can for your cause. This will make you feel better and get a better reaction to your party. Take the time to make the best of your budget and use all the resources that you have to make the event the perfect party. You will get more people to come to your party, as well as make good revenue that you can use for purpose of the party. Sticking to your budget will help to keep you on track and make you more money in the end. Make sure that you are advertising your event. You need to get all the publicity that you can when you are trying to make some revenue from an event. This is something that you can be sure to have a great experience with if you are willing to go the distance and put forth your best effort to make your event stand out from the rest. People will be pleased with the great job that you have done, and they will want to give up their money because of the wonderful job they have had. Having mascots, minglers, entertainers at your next event, how to find and work with them. Planning a great party does not have to be that hard. All you really have to do is find a way to make your event great. You will find that when you get the great ideas to make your party special, you will get an overwhelming response to the event, and it will be a great time that is had by all. One of the best ways to make a great event even better is to have some kind of great entertainment. You will want to find someone to come to your party and make it great. You can get any type of entertainer that you would like, and it will be a great addition to your party. You should think about the type of party you are having, who will be the guests, and what type of party is it going to be. These are things that you will want to think about so that you can make the most of the great time. You will want to bring out someone that will entertain all of your party goers and keep them interested in the event. If you are looking for an entertainer to come to your party, you can check out the phone book. There are plenty of party entertainers that are listed there to help you. You will see that there are plenty of different options, and you will need to choose the ones that will give the crowd a great night of fun. You can get comedians, musicians, and even guest speakers. No matter what type of entertainer you decide to get, you will be able to hire someone to help you keep everyone there and having a great time. If you do not want to hire an entertainer, you may want to find a mingler to get the party going. You will see that a mingler will keep the people talking and keeping them moving. They will be able to talk to the guests at different times and getting the guests ready for a night of entertainment. The mingler will be great for you so that you have time to sit and relax at your own party. You will, of course, want to talk to the guests and make them feel welcome, as well as having some time out for yourself. One great idea to have at your next event is to have someone to keep the crowd entertained and get them involved in the fun. You can have an entertainer that will bring the crowd up on stage and keep them involved. This is something that you can do easily and with little time and expense involved. You can usually find these people in the phone book, or you can go online and find the help that you are looking for. You can even work with your entertainer and bring more fun to the party. You can be a helper or get someone from the crowd to help as well. Either way, you will see that when you are able to get the guests having fun, you will be setting the stage for a successful party that will be a great time and memory for everyone. This is a great opportunity, and one that you should do any time you want to make your next event the most that it can be. There is nothing wrong with wanting to make your friends happy. You want them to talk about your event for many years to come, and the best way to do that is to keep it interesting and exciting. Event suppliers/vendors, they can make or break your event. Learn how to choose wisely. You have to be careful when you are trying to plan a great event. You need to make sure that you are using the right vendors that are there to help you. There are many different people out there that want to take your money, and you need to make sure that you are protecting yourself and your event when you decide to use them. Planning the perfect event for any reason is something that anyone wants to do. It is not always easy. However, it is something that you have to take seriously because you will want to make sure that you are getting the most for your money. You want to get the most for your money, but yet still put on a great event. Shop around for prices on what you need. For example, if you need 50 tablecloths, don't get them at the first store that you come to. Call at least 3 suppliers and ask their prices on that same item. That item could be just $1 cheaper at another store and shipped free, compared to paying $1 more for each tablecloth and to have to pay shipping as well. Look for items that you can reuse at other events. For example, go back to the tablecloth order. Will you be able to launder the items, cheap, and reuse them again at another event? This is a good idea, as you are going to be an event planner or put on a lot of different events in the next few months or years. While it could be a little more costly up front instead of using paper, you have to look at the number of times you can use these tablecloths and the price you would pay each time if you were to use paper. Remember, savvy affairs and events are not the place for paper anyway, so you might end up buying paper tablecloths for 4 events and then still have to purchase those linens for another event. A supplier can make or break your event just by not showing up. You need to keep a list of supplies that are local so that just in case you find your supplier does not ship or doesn't show, you can purchase what you need without waiting. You always need a backup plan. For example, the 125 paper tablecloths you orders online that are blue and green, can you get them anywhere else locally, within 50 miles, even if it costs more? If your supplier doesn't show or doesn't ship, and it is the day of the event, you need to send someone to your backup and get what you need. Don't let anyone hold you up from being successful. Hold people to their contracts, to what you ordered. If you ordered 100 green cloth napkins and 40 black napkins for centerpieces, and you're shipped the products but in backwards amounts, call the supplier. Tell them you want a big discount, or you are going to refuse to accept the shipment. Make your point known. If you have to put up with items that are wrong, then get a discount. Get money back on the overall deal. Make it or break it. That is all a name of the game. You can be strong with vendors. Remember, you are paying their bill, and you don't have to pay for what is right. Make the vendor or supplier work for your money. You should avoid vendors and suppliers who are always running late. Avoid suppliers that do not deliver what you order and in the quantities that you always order. Keep a running list of suppliers that will put you on top of everything from forks to tables to food to lighting and candles. Always know where you bought the item last and at least one other supplier for that item so your events will go off without a hitch. 7 reasons why the need for team building at your off-site events. You will find that when you are trying to create a great event that will stand out from a crowd, you will want to make sure that you are using team building to make it happen. You want to use your friends and colleges to make sure that you are doing the very best that you can for your next event. You want to plan something that is so great and exciting that people will want to come back for more. If you are trying to build a great event at an off-site location, you will need to have a lot of help. You need to depend on others to give you the special help that you are looking for. This is one way to ensure that you are not going to miss something and mess up the evening. The following are the reasons why you need team players on your team. 1. You want to make sure that you have trustworthy people helping you out on your next event so that you can make it a great success. You want to choose only people that you can really count on so that they are able to create the best party ever. You need them to be in charge of details that will help make your night a success. 2. You will also want to have team building for your next off-site event because you need to get as many people to help you with your needs as you can. This is very important because you want to have the best available help that you can in order to get everything accomplished so that there is nothing left undone. 3. You have to be able to work together with others on an event because you need to make things happen. When you are all on the same page and looking to make the day better, you will find it a lot easier to create the perfect event that will make the night shine. You want to make sure that everyone is getting along just perfectly so that the work is being done and no one is left out. 4. Getting to have team players on your event team is important. You want to be able to trust everyone so that they can do their job and not have to worry about watching over them all the time. This is so important because you need to create the best event that you can as well as keep your close team together so that no one is getting upset. 5. Make sure that you are able to communicate. When you have team players that do not communicate with each other, you will find that you can create chaos when it comes to an event. You need to be able to get the most from your team that you can so that no one is causing trouble and making it hard for others to make the night perfect. 6. Getting help at an off-site location is not always easy. You will want to make sure that you are doing the necessary background checks so that you can be sure that you have reliable and dependable people working for you. You do not want to have to worry about who you have on your team because it is important to keep trust and honesty there so that you are not double-checking everything that they are doing. 7. You want to find someone that is going to be able to handle anything that is thrown his or her way. You need to find reliable people that can take on the pressures of anything that can go wrong when it comes to the event. You need them to be cool and calm and ready to take on challenges. You will find that once you have these people working for you and on your team, you can relax and stop worrying so much about what you have to do. You can feel good about your choice and know that you have done your best. 8 key factors of a successful event planner. Learn to pick wisely. Planning an event is a big job. No matter what type of event it is, you will find that there is a lot of different things that you have to make sure get done. You need to be focused and ready to take on this type of challenge when it comes to planning an event. If you are not able to handle it all yourself, you will want to think about hiring an event planner to make it a little bit easier. There are a few different key factors that are important when you are trying to find a successful event planner. You need to think about the person that you are hiring and what they can do for you. You have to learn to pick and choose your event planner wisely so that you are not finding yourself in a bad situation later on. 1. You will want to make sure that you are getting a highly successful event planner to take care of your next event. You need to make sure that you are finding someone that is ready to take on a challenge and do the best job that she can for you. You want them to be devoted and able to help you through anything that is thrown your way. 2. You want a professional. You want to have someone help you with your next event that has the extensive training that is necessary to make the most of the event. You need to have someone that you can count on that has the experience that you need to make this the best ever. You can make the event highly successful and very professional when you have help that matches your needs. 3. Getting a professional event planner that pays attention to detail is very key. This is one of the most important key factors in making an event a great success. You will want to have the person helping you very interested in making you happy. You need them to be very efficient and willing to do what you need them to. 4. You will want to interview your event planner to make sure they are the person that you feel comfortable with. You want to have someone help you with your special event that you can trust and get to know. They will want to make your event the best that it can be and give you all that you are looking for, and maybe even a little bit more. You will be surprised at the amount of help you can get from your wedding planner when you chose them well. Ask them important questions that you are going to need to know. You want to make the most of this time and get to know them very well. 5. The person that you are hiring to take care of your event will have to know the financial part of the business. They will have to be willing to make sure that they take care of all the business transactions that have to be dealt with so that you can get the event rolling on the right budget. They will have to be aware of the process and that they have to stay within the budget to keep on track. 6. Get the references that you need to make a good decision about the event planner that you need. You want to make sure that you have someone that is going to have former clients that are happy with their work. You want to contact these people and find out what they like and disliked about the event planner. This will help you make a better decision as to who is the right person for the job. 7. You will also need to make sure that the event planner is able to get word of your special event out there. You want them to be able to get the advertising part of the business out there for everyone to know about. You want to get as many people to your event that you can. This will mean a lot of hard work and effort to go into the great event that you have been planning and waiting for. 8. Price. This is one of the most important things that you need to consider before you hire an event planner. You want to make sure that you are getting someone that you can afford to do the job. You want to get an event planner that is going to be in your budget and also be very good. You do not want to pay for someone that you do not think will get the job done. However, you also want to make sure that you are getting someone that you can trust and feel good about the price at the same time. 9 ways to organize your events on a shoestring budget. When you want to have a great event, but you have to do it on a budget, you will want to make sure that you are finding ways to cut your expenses. There are many different things that you will have to pay for, and you will want to make sure that you are able to get all that you need with the money that you have set for the party. The first thing that you will need to do is figure out what your budget is and what you need to do to stay on it. There are many ways that you can stray away from your budget, and you will want to make sure that you stay on track and keep your budget in play. Here are a few ideas when creating an event on a shoestring budget. 1. You will first want to find ways to save money. This is most important. However, you do not want to go too cheap if you do not have to. You want to stay on the proposed budget and not take shortcuts that you do not have to. 2. The next way to save money is to find all the friends and family members that you can to help you out with your party. You do not want to have to hire people unless you have to. If you can save money by having volunteers help, you should take advantage of it. 3, 4, 5. Shop wisely. You will want to try and bargain shop any time that you can. This will help you save money so that you can get the materials that you will need and not have to spend all of your budget on the things that you need. You will also want to shop as much as you can so that you can find the discounts that will help you with your shoestring budget. Donations are a great way to save money. If you know someone that can help you with your party, you should ask them for a contribution. This will help you raise money that you find necessary to get the things done that you need. You will find that a lot of people like to help out for a good cause. You need to find a location that will be very inexpensive. You want to get a location that will make your party great, but also save you money in the long run. You will want to make sure that you are first finding out if the location that you have is going to be the better place for the event. You will want to shop around until you find the price that fits your budget as well as accommodates all your needs. 6. Make the food for your event. You need to have food and appetizers for your event. You will find that you can save a lot of money for your budget when you decide to make the food. Buying or having someone make everything for your event can sometimes be expensive. You will want to make sure that you are allowing enough in your budget to get all the food that you need to make your event a great success. 7. Advertising can take up a big part of your budget. You will want to try and get your event out there for the public to know about. However, you will not want to overspend on your budget for this. You want to try and find inexpensive ways to get your event advertised. You can use the local newspapers or make up your own flyers to hand out. 8. There is nothing wrong with trying to make a deal with the things that you need. You will want to try and get the cheaper price for just about anything that you are going to need. This will be a good way for you to save money and get the better deal that will fit your shoestring budget. 9. Ask for support from your community. You will want to try and find the support that you need to make your event happen. You can ask anyone that you know to help out as much as they can. This will give you a break and let you relax a little more when it comes time for the event to happen. Managing your events once you know the why, the how will present itself. Getting the right information to make your event great is not always easy. You will want to be informed so that you can do everything that you need to so that you are in control of the event and so that it can be a great success for you and your cause. You will first want to come up with a great idea for your event. This will give you the how to get the party started. You will be amazed at how easy it all is after you have this part started. You will get the event moving in the right direction when you are sure of the vision that you have for the event. You will want to start setting your goals and getting on track with the things that have to be done. You will then have to determine what is necessary for a great party. You will want to start with your budget. You need to find a way of keeping the money on track and staying within your budget. You do not want to spend too much money on one thing and then not have enough for everything else. You will have to make sure that you follow up with the set amount that you have for spending. You should then contact the different places where you can hold your event. You will want to choose the best possible places so that you are getting the most for your money. You will want to have a great place where all your guests can be comfortable. You will then want to make sure that you are reserving the place where you want your event to take place. You will want to make sure that it is suitable for your party and the budget that you are on. You will then want to find out why a great event is so important. If you are trying to raise money for someone or something, you will need to make sure that you are able to get all the facts to why you are going to have to do a great job. You want to have a successful event so that you are able to raise money and make the most of your great event that is going to take place. You will want to do your best and create a special occasion that everyone will enjoy. Make sure that you have the right equipment and all the materials for your event. You will want to be sure that you are getting everything that you need for a great price. You will not want to overspend and not have enough for the other things that are important. You will want to get the best bargains that you can so that you are going to be able to spend on the other things that you need. Find people to help support your event. You may be able to get donations and other funding from other people. You can use your resources and pull them together so that you are able to have money and help that is very important to making this party the best ever. You can ask different organizations for help so that you are able to have what you need to make your event the best ever. Get your invitations out early so that people are aware of the party. Keep after the guests to make sure that they are attending. You want them to all feel welcome so that you are making the event the most successful that you can. You will want to be sure to get the date and event out there in the public so that you are hitting every possible lead. You will find that some methods of advertising are more effective than others, and you will need to choose what type of method you think is best for your cause. Effective ways to negotiate with your event supplier. There are many things that will go into making a great event happen. You have to be ready to take on anything and go for the best that you can. There are so many ways to make sure that you have the best event ever. However, you will find that it takes money to do all these things. Getting your suppliers to give you a little bit of break on your materials and the other things that you need will be a great way to save money. All you have to do is be willing to barter with them and try and make the best deal possible. The first thing that you can do is ask them to give you a break on your materials and supplies. This will be a great way to save money and to get the things that you need at the same time. You will find it easier to get these things fast so that you can make your event great. Another way to negotiate with your event suppliers is to get them to sit down with you and talk it over. You would want to be face to face with them so that you can describe the type of savings that you are after. This will be a great way to talk to them directly so that they can see what you need. You can also know prices of the other places that you could use if they do not come through. Most of the time, a supplier will want to get the sale, and they do not want to chance their competition beating them out. They will usually lower their price so that you will take their offer. If your event is for a charity reason, you can talk to the suppliers and let them know this. You may be able to make them a deal so that their name is included in the people that are supporting the event. This is a great way to get their name out there for others to see, and they may cut you a great break on the prices. Get a great negotiator. You will want to have someone that is not afraid to ask for a discount. You want to make sure that the person that is helping you is going to be willing to ask for a great deal. You will want them to be very open and able to negotiate with the suppliers so that the materials are a lot less costly. Go around and try and find bargains or even free items that will help you with your event. This is a good way to try and find things that you do not have to pay for. You will actually be surprised at how much you can get for free by people and organizations that are willing to help you out. This is a great way to get exactly what you want and need for your next event. You do not have to worry about things being so incredibly expensive when you are trying to pull an event together. You want to be able to keep your budget and make things happen so that you can have the best time ever. 7 tips on how to find the right venue for your next event. Are you looking for something to do for your next event? If so, you may want to have a few ideas to help you out. This is something that you can do with a few great ideas to help you along. You will find that when you have some ideas on what to do for your event, it will go a lot faster and easier. 1. The first way to find a venue for your next event is to use a little bit of your imagination. You will find that when you are not afraid to use a little bit of your creative side, you can make the most of your event. You will be able to create a great party that has a lot of excitement and fun added to it. 3. Another great way to get good ideas on the right venue to use for your next event is to use some ideas that you may get from other parties. If you are looking for a great theme or method for your next party, you can use some of the parties that you have been to before as a great help. You can use the ideas that you get from the past events to make your event even better. Ask for help for your next event. You may want to see about hiring someone to give you great tips and help on the things that you can do for your next party. You can hire an event planner to get you through your process. They will be able to offer great professional advice that will give you the tools that you need to get the party to a great success. 4. You can get together with other organizers of the event and sit down until you come up with great ideas for your next event. You will be able to come up with some very good ideas that will help you through the long and hard process of choosing something for your next party. You will find that once you get a few great ideas, it is easy to come up with a great plan. 5. You can look through magazines and other great editorials to find great ways to make your next event work. You will want to check out the different things that you will be able to do for your events. You can see different types of foods, themes, and even entertainment for your party that will create the best time ever. 6. You can use past ideas for your next event. Sometimes it is really hard to come up with new ideas that are different. However, when you are really looking for something to do for your next event venue, you will want to check out the different things that you once did and go from there. 7. Another good idea is to ask people what they want. You can find out a lot from the people that you are close to and find out what they think will be fun. You will be able to get great ideas that help you get to where you want to be and have the party that everyone will be talking about for many years to come. You will be able to find the best ideas and the ways to maximize your fun for any future event that you are holding. You will have a great time trying to find out the best ways to make this great time happen, and you will see the payoff at the end. 8 ways to work successfully with your event venue. You need to find a way to work very successfully with your event venue. You want to make this great event work the best that it can. You will, of course, have some problems happen with your event planning, but you want things to go as good as they possibly can. 1. The first way to work with your event venue is to try and reach your goals. You want to set goals for your event and try and make them all happen. You want to use as much information as you can so that you can have the best possible event that you can. 2. You will want to do a lot of research for your event venue. You want to try and reach the maximum potential that you can so that you are not left with a bad event planning process. You want to use the most information that you can so that you can have the right ideas for your party and get a great response as well. 3. You should try to incorporate as much fun and excitement into your next event planning process as you can. There is no sense in having a party if you are not going to include fun. You will want to make sure that you are reaching the most fun that you can for your event planning processes. Find ways to bring life and entertainment to your event without breaking your budget. 4. Make sure that you are on a budget. This is very important. You want to be on a good budget that you feel good about so that you are not spending too much money. You do not want to break your budget and end up losing money in the end. 5. Get all your friends and other members of the planning process ready to work. You will want them to be there for you and ready to pitch in to make this event even better. You cannot have enough help when it comes to planning the perfect event. You will feel better and get to relax a little more when you have more help. 6. Add some flair to your next event. You want to add a little bit of fun and entertainment to your next party. Keeping people interested in your event is not always easy. You want to make sure that you are getting them ready for a night of fun and keep their interest in your event. 7. Advertising up your party is very important. You want to reach a lot of different people so that you are getting the maximum amount of interest into your party. You will have a better response when you are advertising in the newspaper, by mail, email, and any other way that you can think of. 8. Do not get worked up. This is the most important thing that you can do to make your great event go better. You will want to make sure that you are putting a lot of hard work into your event, but you do not want to overwork yourself. Remember to have fun and do not be afraid to relax. Remember, having a great event is not going to be easy, but with the right planning and a little bit of fun, you can have the best event ever. 9 ideas on how to promote your events to your internal customers. Anytime you are planning an event, you will want to make sure that you are promoting it so that the internal customers that you have are going to hear about the fun. You will want to follow a few different things so that you are able to have the most fun that can at the event and make it a great success. 1. You will want to first concentrate on each customer as if they were the only one that you have. You want them to feel extra special so that they are able to feel special. You want to be professional and have a positive attitude so that you can leave a lasting impression for future opportunities. 2. You should know what is going on at all times. You will want to listen carefully for the signals that your customers are throwing your way. You want to take into account all of their needs and wants when it comes to special events that are done. 3. Make sure that you have good information about your customers. You want to make sure that you can promote your event to all of your internal customers so that they know what the party is about. You will feel a lot better knowing that you can get a great deal of customers to hear about the fun that you are having so that they will want to come along for the great ride. 4. You may want to make phone calls to all of your internal customers so that they can be formally invited. You will want to keep all of the invitations as personal as you can. You will feel better knowing that you are able to reach your former customers and keep them informed about the great events that are taking place for you. This is something that you can do to make your internal customers feel like they are very important to you. 5. Stay in contact with the past clients that you have. You will want to make sure that you are able to keep in contact with them so that you can formally invite them to your event. This is the way that you can keep your contacts so that you are able to have your past and current clients together and having fun. 6. Take the time to learn the interests of your internal and external clients. You will want to make sure that you are able to keep in touch with the needs of your clients so that you are meeting all of their wants. You will find that this is a great way to stay in contact with the concerns that they have and keep them interested in your event as well. 7. Be patient. You want to make sure that you have patience so that you are able to take your time with each customer. You want them to feel as if they are the most important clients to you, so you will want to give them a little extra effort and time. You will feel good about the way that you will feel when you are done, and everyone comes to your event. 8. You want to make sure that you are advertising your events with your customers as often as you can. You want to make sure that you are reaching a lot of different people through your advertising. You want to get them interested and informed about your special party. 9. Take a few minutes each week to make sure that you're able to think of new and creative ways to make your internal customers more interested in your events. You want to keep them informed and able to hear about all the great events that you are planning for them. This is the best way to keep everyone connected and on the same page. 6 ways to promote your events to your external customers. You want your next event to be perfect. You want to make sure that you are including everyone that you can so that you are making this party the best that you can. The only way that you can do this is if you include all of your internal and external customers. 1. The first thing that you want to do is make sure that you are sending out the right invitations. You want your external customers to get the invitation early so that they can make the necessary arrangements to get there. They will feel good when they are informed early about the special party as well. 2. You will want to make your customers feel special. Give them a reason to want to come and give their support. You want them to have a special feeling like they are very important, and you want and need them to come to the party. You will have a better chance at them showing up and making your party a great success as well. 3. Send them a personalized letter that is stating how important it is that they show up to your great event. You want them to feel special and important when they receive the letter. You will want them to feel this way so that they are sure to come along to your party. 4. Keep in contact with all the external customers that you have. You want to keep the lines of communication open so that you have more of an advantage over everyone else. You will have the feeling of getting more positive feedback when you are staying informed and in contact with your external customers. 5. Find ways to meet the needs of your external customers. You will want to stay up on the current status of your customers. Keep in contact with them so that you are able to keep things moving in the right direction. You want to stay in contact with the customers that are giving you positive feedback. You should invite them to your events and make them feel that they are very special to you and your party. 6. You should make sure that you are promoting your event and letting people know how great the party is going to be. You can let your former external customers know as well as the current ones how great this party is going to be. You will want to show them the great way that you can make this event wonderful. You want them to be a part of it so that they are finding out what they need to do and how to have the most fun that they can have. You will want to ensure that your event is a great success and that everyone that is invited shows up. You want them to feel very good about the party and that they are going to have a great time. Getting all of your external customers, there is something that will defiantly make sure that you are having the best event ever. You can find many different ways to stay in contact with your external customers and keep them satisfied. If you are not sure what you can do to help yourself keep in contact with your external customers, you can hire a professional event planner to keep you informed with the great ideas that will help you in the long run. You will find it better for your event and for future parties as well. Working successfully with your event planner. Having a great event may mean that you have to work with an event planner. They may the key to making sure that you have the most fun that you can have and that everything goes as planned. You want to make sure that you are able to have the best fun that you can have so that you and all of your guests are satisfied with the party. 1. You will first want to be careful with the hiring of your event planner. You will want to make sure that you are getting an event planner that will work with you and be a great profit to you and your event. You will need to make sure that you are able to get along well with them so that the event can go as planned. 2. You will then want to make sure that you are using all the resources that you can to make up a great plan for the event. You will want to have a great method of communication so that you are able to get down to business. You will want to have a great amount of communication so that you both can get the event planned as necessary. 3. Take all of the ideas into consideration. You will want to find the most effective ideas as possible and figure out what will work best for you. This is a great way to make sure that you are getting all the best ideas so that you are able to have the best event planned. You will both have a lot of great ideas for the event, and you will then have to choose which ones you want to use. 4. Have fun while you are working together with your event planner. You want to keep the fun and excitement there when you are trying to plan the most effective and creative event that you can. There are many different things that you can do to keep the process of working together as fun as possible and entertaining. 5. Keep your motivation up when you are working with an event planner. You will want to be ready to take on anything and keep working at it. You will need to make sure that you are able to keep the fun and excitement up so that you are able to stay focused and keep the momentum up at the same time. This is a great way to keep the ideas flowing and to make sure everything is running in the right direction. With some hard work and determination, you can have a great relationship with your event planner and keep things moving along as planned. This is a great way to make sure that you are doing all that you can to keep the event process running as planned. You will find it a great way to stay organized and to get the event ready for the best time ever. An event planner is someone that is hired by you, and you are the one that is going to pay him or her. You will want to make sure that you are able to keep the event on track as you have planned, so that you are able to stay in control as well as get the help that you need to make the event great. 7 pitfalls to avoid when planning your event itinerary. You want to create an event that you can be proud of. You want your event to be a great success so that you can be excited and happy about all the hard work that you have put into the event. You will want to make sure that you have the best strategy so that you are creating exactly what you want and need. 1. You want to picture yourself creating the best event that you can. You will want to allow yourself a lot of time to prepare for the event. If you are not giving yourself enough time to make the event great, you will not have the best situation that you can. 2. You want to make sure that you are sending out the invitations in plenty of time to all the guests. If you are expecting a rasp, you need to make sure that you are giving the guests enough time to do so. This will help you be better prepared for the special event so that you can get ready to have a great and successful time. 3. Be ready for mistakes. Everyone makes a mistake, and you need to be prepared for him or her. Things can go wrong at any time, and you want to be sure that you are allowing yourself the time and the help that you need to make it all right. There are things that you can do to get ready for anything that can happen. You want to always have a backup plan ready and waiting for you. 4. Being organized is a great way to avoid pitfalls when you are planning an event. You will want to make sure that you have everything ready for your event. You need to be sure that you are able to get things ready for the big event so that you are not forgetting to do something. You can write things down and make sure that you are crossing them off your list as you go. This is something that will help you keep on track and ready. 5. Create a timeline. You should do this for any event that you are planning. You will want to have everything written out so that you are going to be able to expect things that happen. You want to have the time allotted for all the things that are going to happen during the event. You want to allow time in between for the other things that are going to be done during the event. 6. Keep on your budget. If you are not giving yourself a budget at the very beginning of your event, you may be heading for a pitfall. You need to have a set budget so that you are aware of the money that you have to spend. You need to go through and decide what you need and what the cost of everything is going to be. You will then want to shop around and find bargains that will get you the best prices to fit your budget plan. You will find it a lot easier to stay on track and keep your event going as planned. 7. Keep everyone on your staff happy. You want everyone involved getting along and making things run as smoothly as possible. You will feel better and be able to get things moving in the right direction and keep everyone working together. Make the planning environment a great place to be so that everyone is upbeat and ready to make this a great event planning process. Getting a great event together is something that you can depend on when you are using all the tools and method needed to make it great. You will be happy, and so will your guests, with the great presentation that you have worked so hard on. 5 tips to look out for when planning your event logistics. There are many things that you need to look out for when you are planning an event that will be a great success. You will want to take into consideration all the things that can go wrong so that you are prepared for the things that can make your event turn bad. You want to be prepared and able to take on any challenges that come your way. 1. The first thing that you need to do is make sure that you are able to keep your event on track. There are so many things that can go wrong when you are planning something. You do not want to get discouraged when it comes to planning something wonderful. You want to keep the event going the right way so that you do not give up and get frustrated. You need to keep patience and keep motivated so that you are getting exactly what you want and need for your event. 2. You have to make sure that you are not planning your event for a day that is already taken by another event. You want to keep the dates open so that you are not interfering with other big parties because you want everyone to show up to yours. You will want to check the dates that are best first so that you can start planning the big party. Once you have the right date, you can then start to book everything else so that you are able to make sure everyone can come. 3. Keep organized. Being on the right track is the best way to stay focused on what you need to get done. You will want to make sure that you are able to keep things running well and on track. The best way to do this is to stay focused. You will want to have accurate records of everything that you are doing so that you're not wandering later. You will want to make sure that you get receipts for everything that you pay for. You will want this to ensure that you get what you are paying for. 4. Keep aware of unexpected things that can happen. You will want to be on the lookout for anything that can come up. You will be better off when you are prepared for the bad things and able to keep up on them. You will find that when you have things handled before they happen, you will be better prepared and able to handle anything that can come your way. This is the one reason why you need to make sure that you are going to have a backup plan. 5. Trying to make the best event ever is not going to happen on its own. You will want to be motivated and able to stay on track. Keeping on the right path is the best way to make sure that you are able to have the perfect event planned. You will feel better and get things done easier. You need to be ready to work and keep things moving. Staying committed to your cause is going to help you with your event planning and making things happen. These are all great ways to make the event be a success. You will feel better and have a better experience when you are going to be prepared and organized. These are the top things that make an event work, and you will find it fun and exciting when you have the right tools. Choosing your MC in events what you need to know. Having a great MC in an event is important. You will want to make sure that you are getting the best that you can for the entertainment. You will have a better shot at making your event the best that it can be and the most exciting as well. You can create a fun and affordable entertainment plan when you are ready to be prepared and educated. You will want to make sure that you know what is going to happen at your event. You want to be ready for the entertainment schedule. You should know how many entertainers are going to be performing. You will want to have a list of how many people are going to do this, because you want to be prepared for the events that are going to happen. You need to find entertainment that is going to go along with the party that you are having. You will want them to complement each other. You do not want to have entertainment that is not going to be right for your guests. You want them to be entertained and having a great time. Another question to know is what the entertainment is going to be doing. You need to know what you can expect to happen at your event. You will feel better and be able to tell your guests what they can expect from the fun that they will have at their party. You will also want to know because you will have to make sure that you are able to stay on track with your event and make sure that the entertainment is suitable for the party. You need to meet with the MC before the party so that you are able to know exactly what is going to happen at your party. This is something that you can do so that you are able to keep the party on track and moving in the right direction. You will appreciate the fact that you have a plan on what is going to happen so that you are better informed and able to keep things moving forward. You should also be aware of the cost. You will not want to be paying a fortune for the entertainment that you are having at your party. You will want to be sure that it will fit into your budget so that you can meet all of the other important needs of the party. You will be in control of your budget and keep things moving along just fine. Make sure that you are including tax and gratuity in your price. If you are not sure, you will want to ask what the entire cost of the entertainment will be. You need to have a contract with your MC. You will need to have it writing what to expect so that there are not unexpected surprises at your party. This contract is the one thing that protects you from the entertainment not fulfilling their duties. You will be keeping yourself safe from fraud and unexpected mishaps that can always happen. Make sure that your entertainment has insurance. You will want to be sure that they have liability insurance in case something bad would happen at the event. This is a way to protect you from damages or problems that may occur. You can have the best event ever when you are willing to take the necessary steps to protect yourself and make the best of the budget that you have for your next planned event. How to create events that people talk about. When you are trying to create a great event that people will remember, you will want to put a lot of hard work into it. You have to be willing to use your creative side to make this something that will keep people talking for a long time to come. There are so many different things that you can do in order to make an event special. All you have to do is make sure that you are able to get the supplies and the help that it takes to make your event great. With these things, you can really turn some heads. There are so many things that you will have to do for a special event. The first thing that you need to do is set a date. Once you have the date in place, you will then have to find the perfect place to hold the event. You will want something that will hold the expected amount of people that will be there as well as be comfortable and appealing to the eyes as well. You will want to shop around until you find the perfect place that will work for you and your needs. After you have the date and the place, you will then want to stick to your budget. You will want to think about the amount of money that you can spend and then go from there. You want to allow yourself enough for your budget so that you can get everything needed on your list. This will be the best way to start the planning process. You will then want to advertise your event. You need to make sure that everyone that is being invited gets an invitation early. You want them to make sure they have enough time to RSVP to the special party. This will also allow you extra time to get ready for the number of people that are defiantly coming to the event. You can also advertise the party with the newspaper, emails, and even flyers. These are all very good ways to get your event advertised at a great bargain. The entertainment is very important to an event as well. You want to have something for everyone. You will defiantly want to have a great beginning and end to your party. This will keep the guests talking about the time they had for a long time to come. You will also want to make sure that the entertainment is appropriate to the guests that are there. It is important to keep them interested while they are supporting your event, and with the right entertainment, you will have great response. Use a timeline to keep things rolling at the event. You want to have everything in place and a special time allotted for them. You need to keep the night jam-packed full of fun. You do not want the party to get dull or boring at any time. This will only make your guests restless and wondering what is going to happen next. You should think of ways to keep the night on a great pace and to make sure the guests are satisfied with all the entertainment that you have offered. Keep organized. You need to make sure that you have everything under control. You need to make sure that you have taken care of all the things that have to be done so that nothing is missing. You will also want to be sure that you have personally made sure that all the details are taken care of so that nothing is missed. When you do find that you may have forgotten something, you should make the necessary arrangements to fix the problem and get it under control. With the right people running the event, you should have no problems at all. You may want to make sure of this by hiring an event planner. You will need to make room in your budget, and if you do not have the budget for it, You may want to find someone to help you along the way. This can be anyone that you trust that will make sure all the details are taken care of, and to take a little bit of the stress off of you. You will certainly appreciate the help, and everything will be perfect for your event.